By Discount Diesel Parts.
February 8th, 1948. RCAF Flyers win Olympic gold. Canada had been in conflict with the International Ice Hockey Federation and, as a result, did not have a team to send to the Olympics until the Royal Canadian Air Force volunteered its athletes from across the country. The makeshift team went on to take the gold from Czechoslovakia 3-0.
Hi, folks. This is Big Al from Discount Diesel Parts. With over 70 years' experience, Interstate McBee is a leader in the heavy-duty diesel engine parts industry. And as an authorized dealer for over 20 years, we've been serving customers with those high-quality parts: gasket kits, water and oil pumps, turbos, fuel injectors, heads, in-frame kits, and at a great price, too. Reach us at discountdiesel.ca and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Miguel will be your Olympic gold. Yes! He's done it, ladies and gentlemen. Ikuma gave it all. But look at this. Miguel Kingsbury is Olympic champion once again. Canada's first gold medal. Oh, my God. The king has reclaimed his crown.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Look at the focus.
Look at that body language, leaning in towards the jump, coming in.
Find your feet, Megan. Yes!
Getting their second 160 of the night.
Holy mackerel. Delivers one, puts the ball over the fence and clears the bases in round number 2.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Celebrating, Dad anxiously watching. What's the kid got this time? Goals in each of the first 2. And on the penalty shot, got another. Macklin celebrating. 5-1 Canada.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 607, Wednesday, February the 18th. It is nasty out there in the City of Champions, minus 26. Maybe, is this the worst 36 hours, the last 36 hours that we've had all winter? I know we had a couple of big dumps and things like that, but I don't think it was ever this cold where it is, just, it was frigid outside, snowing yesterday and blowing right at you, man, oh man. But I think the worst is behind us. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work. And again, still conditions across the city. Be careful out there. White mud coming into West Edmonton Mall this morning, all cleared off and looked good and everything like that. But obviously the secondary roads and everywhere around, once you get on to like 178 and things like that, coming out of the west side, it is ugly. So glad you could join us on our show this morning. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would really appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. So all of the streaming services. And then on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, it turns into the many podcasts that are out there on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Be sure to subscribe and select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. It is quarterfinal Wednesday at the Milano Cortina Olympics. One game in the books already. Slovakia has defeated Germany by a score of 6-2. So the Slovaks are off to the semifinals. Leon Draisaitl and his German squad bounced from the games. And Leon played about half the game. He played 28 minutes and change, was -1, just had 1 assist. Josh Szymanski was -3 in the contest. Slovakia, they're the story, really, so far of the games, when you think about it, because they're off. They've got a chance for a medal for sure. They're in the semifinals. Who knows who they play yet? That remains to be seen. All eyes, of course, in our country will be on the Canadians and the Czechs, and that's coming up at 8:40. I should mention that Sam Bennett, Josh Morrissey did not take part in the morning skate per se like the rest of the players. They were out earlier, stayed later, so that indicates that the two of them will not be playing in the quarterfinals against the Czechs. Nathan McKinnon, all good indications, and he is all good to go here against the Czechs here coming up at 8:40. The two other games that we see on the quarterfinal Wednesday, at 10:10, Finland will take on the Swiss, and then at 1:10, the United States takes on Sweden. That's the most interesting game in the sense that if you were to tell the Americans that they were going to get Sweden in the quarterfinals, you probably would not have thought that. So we actually had a question in or out yesterday about the upset possibilities. And I mean, shoot, Sweden was probably ranked third coming into this tournament. And they're going to play the U.S. right off the hop here. So that's going to be a game to watch as well. The Canadian men's curling team is on the ice right now with Italy. Brad Jacobs has just picked up a deuce in the fourth end, gave up a steal of 2 in the third, and trailed 3-0 to Joel Retornaz of Italy. He was down 3-0, so just a deuce now for Jacobs in 4. So they trail by a score of 3-2. Hey, the Oilers back at practice yesterday and a very well attended optional. The mandatory skates will be back in action today. They'll go at 11 o'clock, but a good showing yesterday. Matt Savoy, I think probably a lot of our listeners heard that he is going to be reassigned and was reassigned to Bakersfield. So there's 2 games. Bakersfield actually plays tonight. I don't think Savoy's going to play, but he'll play the one weekend game on the Friday and then would be reassigned and called back up. And this is just basically salary cap and to get around the salary cap because of, the possibility here to, reinstate Adam Henrique and things like that. So text 833-401-1440. Hey, Jason just texted in about my son does snow removal. While this has been wintry, December he worked 23 of 31 days. Lots of snow, couple of weeks, and minus 30 nights. We have short memories. Otherwise, why would we live here? LOL. Well, you know what? I gotta tell you, Jason. I got a text from Sparky Golchinsky, a long-time Oilers equipment manager. And anyway, he sent me a text with a picture with a snowblower on the back of a half-ton. And all it says was, I'm going to drive this truck as far south till someone asks me, hey, what's that on the back of your truck? And that's where I'm going to live. But yeah, we've been getting it pretty good here. And again, yesterday, just the wind whipping and blowing and things like that. BC Oiler checks in. I was cheering for Germany because of Leon, but the ridiculous amount they were playing him, I'm kind of glad they're done now. Well, again, we touched on that, and he was 28 minutes and change last I saw as far as his time on ice for today. And I'm going to just double check that right now again. And Leon Draisaitl played 28-10. Yeah. Had 2 shots, had 1 assist, took 32 draws. Like, some people think about, you when you're taking face-offs, it's just a face-off. There's a lot of flex. There's a lot of, it's hard on your hands, your shoulders. That's 32 draws. He took 32 draws today. Basically every face-off. The next guy that took the most face-offs was 9, Dami Cahoon. Nico Sturm took 10. And same with Tim Stutzla. But you think about that. Leon Draisaitl took 32 draws today. How about JJ Peterka? He was -4, played 20-26. The other, and like Leon played more than Mo Seider. Mo Seider played 27-48. So you look at their defense, and that was their weak point of the team. So Germany's out. Slovakia moves on to the semifinals. And to be honest with you, Slovakia, they've had the opportunity here to be in this position before, but they won bronze in 2022. That was, it's different. No NHLers. But their best on best, highest finish is 4th, and that was Vancouver. You got a shot to beat that. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne at 7:09 in Edmonton. Duke, were you, you don't have to shovel, I guess, do you?
That's right.
So you just had the feet up yesterday.
Just
watched
relaxed.
everyone else outside whipping it around.
I can hear, out the window of my apartment, I hear the snow blowers going and a few shovels scraping. I will say at my apartment building, it's pretty parking, the parking lot is not very big, and the snow it doesn't get cleared very often out of there.
Yeah.
So the amount earlier this winter, there was already once I got home pretty late at night from somewhere and helped push this little Honda Civic or something that was essentially high centered right in the parking lot, and I pushed it for probably 15 minutes all the way out and around back to the main street. I saw more than a few people yesterday on my ways in and out, looking like they might be in similar situations. They're not moving particularly fast in everything from a minivan to another little Honda Civic and stuff. So Godspeed to all those out there in those situations.
Did you have your timer on all night for your truck to start?
No, I gotta plug in now. So when I was living at my old place, I was street parking, so I couldn't really plug my truck in. Here I've got a power outlet right at the front of my assigned stall. So when I got home from hockey last night, just went nose in instead of backing in like I usually do. Got the extension cord out and all no problem firing up this morning.
But we I guess shoveled twice. I went out again last night. The first one,
don't overexert yourself.
I know. The first one I waited a little too long, Duke. How about this too? A lot of garage door people will know this. So it blew in overnight again. So it blows up against the garage door and kind of just underneath the crack of the door, in the one side. So what happens is the sensors won't let you close the door. And so I'm leaving at 6 this morning. I'm going, oh no. The door's open. It's not closing. And then I'm like, okay, so
then you gotta text Laura and say, hey, sweetheart, you gotta go clean off the.
I actually did
the thing underneath the garage door so it'll close.
I had to get to work.
Is your garage? Can both of you park inside?
Yeah. Then and we got the heater in there. And
that's what I mean, right? So you don't want to leave that door open.
No, well, that's the whole thing. So I would have to turn the heater off, and then she's leaving. She was pumping her twigs at 6 in the morning as she usually does, and then we got an appointment for the dog at 8:30, so she would have had to come out. But I did phone her and say, listen, so if there's a chance. So if it blows in,
as you're driving away, you already tried to close it 3 times. You drive away. Yeah, there's a chance the garage door might not have closed properly. Maybe go check on that for me. Thanks. Have a great day, babe.
Well, the other thing too is the springs, take such a beating, on the garage door springs, because in the cold, right? You get down to 25, 30. That's a lot of stress on there. Jason texted and said Leon with 32 draws probably got kicked out of at least a dozen times. I didn't notice that, to be honest with you. Maybe the Olympics maybe they got a little more leniency. Have you noticed at the Olympics for him?
No, I can honestly say I haven't watched a Germany game start to finish.
Yeah.
Usually just in and out or maybe replays and highlight packages of it. Not something I've noticed standing out for me.
Yeah. Still 3-2 Canada and Italy in men's curling. The Canadians wrapped up a playoff spot. The women need to get it done today. So they've got Italy as well. And then they got Korea, correct? I think. So they've got the 2 games. They still have their destinies in their own hands. So if they can win those 2 games, Italy in the standings, I believe, is not so hot. Korea won this morning, I think, to go to 5-3. So that's the game. That's the one there where Canada needs to win that game for sure. I would say this is going to be a blank coming up. My favorite curler now of all time, Duke, for Italy, the third, Amos, whatever his last name. But there's just not enough Amoses out there. And Enos, too.
You say so, Kev.
And Roscoe. We need some more.
Roscoe there. I can get on board with more Roscoe.
Roscoe P. Coltrane, right, from
Dukes
of Hazzard. And then Amos and Enos. Enos was in the Dukes too, wasn't he? He was the deputy.
I guess so, right?
Yeah. So we need a few more Amoses and Enoses. Coming up on the big program today, Mark Masters. So good that you got Mark in from TSN. He's at the Olympics, so he's got boots on the ground, and we'll get his thoughts on it looking like Bennett and Morrissey will not play for Canada in the quarterfinals. Nathan McKinnon, full practice this morning. So he looks like, and again, this wasn't like a morning skate because it's a different time. So it's different. That's why Bennett and Morrissey, they were out with Darcy Kemper. So that indicates the fact that they won't go tonight. We got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet checking in at 8 o'clock. We'll probably hear from some Oilers that practiced yesterday. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman addressed the media following their optional practice. So did head coach Chris Knobloch. We've got Jacob Robinson from The Athletic, covers the NFL. A couple of big things, and I can't wait for MTR to start bitching and complaining about the San Francisco 49ers schedule, Duke. So now they're playing a game in Mexico City now too, which isn't that far from San Fran. It's not like crazy, but they got a game in Melbourne, Australia, so they're going out of country twice. And then they got 2 games. I think they go to Atlanta and they go to the Giants. So after last year's soft-ass schedule for the Niners, MTR, it's a little bit different for his Niners. Same with Roddy. And I'll tell you what, Duke, I've had that. I lost the bet to these donkeys. I've had the booze here at the station for at least a month now. What's the timeline? There's got to be, if they don't pick it up within a week or so.
Well, because isn't one of them a bottle of whiskey and one pack of beer?
Yeah.
So maybe you just say like each week that progresses, you're cracking one of the beers and pouring yourself a glass of whiskey out of the bottle.
Sure. So these 2 guys got to pick it up already.
Listen, they say, Kevin, prizing from radio contests, about like 80% of it goes unclaimed.
Really?
And that could be what we're looking at here. One fair and square, and no qualms about that. Prizing is readily available, but if you don't come get it, hey, there's an expiry on anything.
Haven't heard from David Schlemko. Hope he's good to go. He was sick last week, so he'll be our co-host from 9 to 11 for Cougar Paint and Collision. We got Liam Harobin taking some time out from the hockey game from Oilers Nation to watch. He'll be watching the Canada-Czech game, no question about that, but he'll take some time out to spend with us at 9:20. We got Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com in the 10 o'clock hour. When we come back, Mark Masters from TSN. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started. Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Say, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. The customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here in our Sports 1440 studios at West Edmonton Mall. Another hour and 20 minutes until Canada takes on the Czechs in men's hockey quarterfinal play. Slovakia beat Germany 6-2. So Leon Draisaitl, Josh Szymanski will be heading home at some point and have a couple of extra days off before the Oilers get back at it next week, and they return to practice yesterday, and we'll be back at it this morning, 11 o'clock down at Rogers Place. King of Fort Nasty texts in at 833-401-1440 as we await the arrival of Mark Masters from TSN. Good morning, KK, Duke, and Finney. The Duke talking about unclaimed radio prizes reminds me of when Homer got Marge a bowling ball for her birthday and saying, if you don't want it, I know someone who does. Yeah, you betcha. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. We're clear out on the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas continues. The Sahara package is our best seller, so we've got a great selection to pick from starting at $59,900. We are expecting them to go fast, so come on down before they are gone. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back Mark Masters from TSN. Good morning, Mark. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it. I know how busy you guys are over there in Italy, but thanks for coming on as always. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be on.
So maybe just run down what you maybe saw this morning going into this game. We were about an hour and 15 away. Lineup possibilities with a couple of guys here, Mark.
Yeah, well, Ryan Rashog, our TSN reporter here, he was at the Canada skate this morning, and he saw Sam Bennett and Josh Morrissey on the ice, and so that would lead us to believe they will be the scratches today. Bennett, of course, missed practice yesterday. It was called a maintenance day. Morrissey practiced in his usual spot beside Colton Parayko, spoke to the media, said it was a day-by-day thing, but it looks like both guys just aren't ready to play today, even though John Cooper said he expected to have everyone available. So Josh Morrissey, Sam Bennett out for this do-or-die quarterfinal against the Czechs.
What did you make of Morrissey skating yesterday, though, Mark? Because everyone was saying, like all the reports by, when you guys are reporting, and you and Rashog and Pierre LeBrun, that he looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, and that's what John Cooper said. He said he looked good, but you never know how someone's going to react afterwards or how they're going to wake up today. listen, it's an elimination game. You don't want to put your team in a bad spot by playing in a situation where you're not able to give it your all. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes with Morrissey, but clearly just not ready to go. And they'll have another off day tomorrow. And then you'd hope, should Canada advance, and they're the heavy favorite today, you may have them for the medal round.
And Nathan McKinnon yesterday, Mark, was just kind of precautionary.
I'm not sure what it was. Clearly, he was banged up at the end of that game against France. He took the big hit, which led to the Tom Wilson fight, but also seemed to hurt his leg on an attempted hit. So he was kind of flexing out his leg there at the end. He was walking a little gingerly in the mix zone when we saw him afterwards. So I think there's something to that. Like, he is dealing with something, but not enough to keep him out. I mean, this guy, I think John Cooper called him a bull. Physically, he's just a really strong guy. So he's going to play today. I'll be curious to see how he looks. And if he's able, obviously, to unleash that incredible speed and physicality that's made him a Hart Trophy contender in the NHL this year.
Mark Masters from TSN, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Does Canada take anything or something, a little bit, a lot from the game to open up round robin play where they beat the Czechs 5-0, Mark?
I think you can learn things for sure. I think it's helpful. It makes it a little easier than facing an opponent that maybe you're not as familiar with. They'll know exactly what to expect. The Czechs will know exactly what to expect. It's hard to beat the same team twice in a short period of time at a tournament like this, but Canada can draw, I would hope, a lot of confidence from how they played in that game against Czechia and how they played in the entirety of the preliminary round, because they look really, really good.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of that? You know, like I was saying earlier on another radio show that I did, the goal that Canada scored with 6 seconds left in that first period, Macklin Celebrini, that high tip. How much do you think that factored in how the game script kind of played out? Because it sure gave Canada a lift. And, you know, if the Czechs go into that first period, Mark, still scoreless, you know, maybe they've got a little more confidence moving forward.
Yeah, I think a late goal in any period is going to be a big thing for momentum. Probably calm down the Canadians. They were a bit nervous, and John Cooper spoke after the game and just said, listen, if you're Sidney Crosby, Drew Doughty, whoever you are, you're going to be a little bit nervous in that first Olympics game. So a lot of energy, a lot of nervous tension, and the longer it stayed 0-0, the better the Czechs were going to feel. So that goal late in the first period, the youngest player on Team Canada coming through with that nice tip, that was a big moment in that first game, and just the start of a really special tournament so far for Celebrini.
Mark Masters with us on Sports 1440. How many questions in the last week or so have you answered about Macklin Celebrini and how he's looked in this tournament so far, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Yeah. He's been the breakout star. I'm not sure he's the star. Obviously, he's playing beside the star, which is Connor McDavid, but he's the breakout star because, listen, we've seen it all season in the NHL, how good he's been, and he's in the Hart Trophy conversation for a reason. He just keeps kind of exceeding expectations. He's a really impressive kid. But to do this on this stage beside McDavid, not blink, call for the puck, just be really, really poised on this stage. It's really, I think he's gained even more appreciation from other NHL players and from the hockey world in general.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you nailed it right there. The respect that he is drawing and gaining from, not just Team Canada. I think the other countries and players that are watching, like, this guy doesn't look like he's 19 years old at all.
Yeah, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, the French captain, said he's 19. Goddamn, I got out of the NHL at the right time. If this is the future of the league, he's special. Celebrini, he's the next one, right? He's the next one for Canadian hockey. He's Sidney Crosby's taking him under his wing at the Worlds, and again here they did a few laps together in that last practice before the game. That's a pretty good feature. He's playing with a heck of a line mate in McDavid, and he's not looking out of place. So really, really big moment here for Celebrini, and he's needing it.
Why do you think Celebrini and Connor McDavid have struck up such a quick and positive chemistry so far in the tournament, Mark?
They're both playing at such high levels. McDavid's on another planet right now. I'm not convinced that I would struggle on his wing right now, and I haven't played hockey in a long time. He's just so good. And Celebrini's smart. It's hockey IQ is the basis for it, but they just seem to understand their games. The guys who can that play at such an elite level they just kind of have it click in faster with that chemistry, because McDavid can be a tricky guy to play with. I remember the first practice here, Tom Wilson and McDavid had a long conversation, a lot of hand gestures, and Wilson told us afterwards he was just trying to understand how to play alongside the speed of someone like McDavid, how he didn't necessarily have to work back towards him because McDavid's just so fast, he'll be able to bridge any gap at any time, basically. So Celebrini just, he's a student of the game. He seems to understand that. I haven't seen many of those conversations between those two. It just seems to have been a really easy mix and match for those two guys right now. So it's just something about those elite players. They seem to be able to click right away.
Mark Masters with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. As for the Czechs, Mark, I think they might have shuffled up their lines a little bit. They were maybe a little more top heavy in that first round robin game. And, the Sidney Crosby line was, head to head basically with Pasternak in that game. Are you expecting similar, maybe line matching if John Cooper chooses to go that way this morning here?
I would think so. I mean, Pasternak's kind of the head of the snake for Czechia. If you can bottle him up, you're going to have a really good chance of winning. And Crosby, that's the one line for Canada that hasn't changed from day one of this process. They are the stabilizers. Marner, Mark Stone, and Crosby. I was talking to Thomas Hertel the other day, and I asked him about Stone, who he plays with, of course, in Vegas. And he said, I think he might be the smartest player in the NHL. And I know Mitch Marner from covering him in Toronto, how smart he is. And then you got Crosby in the middle. It's just a very hard line to go against. It's going to be hard to break through against those guys. John Cooper said he's not breaking those guys up at all as this tournament plays out. So it's going to be tough for Pasternak. I know he's been calling for himself to play better the last couple of times he spoke to the media. So you hope he's not a sleeping giant from Canada's perspective, but he's not exactly feeling great about his game going into this elimination game today.
What have you seen from Marner here at the tournament so far, Mark, in the sense that, as you said, you're very familiar covering him for a decade in Toronto?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy, right? Like, he's not a dominant player, but when he doesn't have the puck on his stick, but when he does, he can just make moments of magic happen. He made that incredible setup to Mark Stone in the first game where he kind of finished with the Bobby Orr dive, and then he had the setup to Crosby in the next game. And then he just does a lot of subtle things on the penalty kill, his stick placement, what he was doing. That helps create the Mark Stone breakaway goal against Switzerland. So he's really smart, and he's flown under the radar. I think he's not a Maple Leaf anymore. I don't think he's done as much media here as he would have done at last year's Four Nations when he was a Maple Leaf and he was in a contract year and there's so much talk about him. He's flown under the radar a little bit. I think he's been really effective, really good on that line beside Crosby and Stone.
We were talking about, players coming in and out of the lineup in Bennett and Morrissey. What about Brad Marchand? Is he going to be good to go here? And if he is, who's going to come out, do you think?
Yeah, so it looks like Marchand's back in, and he'll be good to go after missing the last two games. He got banged up right before going to the Olympics. So they've been managing something. He said part of it is that, part of it is just old legs. But, he's 37. So they've been, keeping him. They didn't feel they needed him against France. And so he'll come back in. He should have a lot of energy. Sidney Crosby said his fellow Nova Scotian always has a lot of energy, regardless of the situation. So I think that veteran savvy from a guy like Marchand, who was so good in that playoff run for Florida, that will serve Canada well in a tense kind of game like this one. He said initially when he came here, he didn't expect to be in the lineup. He thought he was going to be a healthy scratch in game one. He thought his role was to be, in his words, to be a loud and obnoxious voice in the room. So I'm sure he's been doing that already, but he'll be back in the lineup today and replace Sam Bennett, his Panthers teammate.
Yeah, and I was just kind of looking at the line and the possibilities. There's Seth Jarvis and Nick Suzuki. We were talking about those guys yesterday. Do you think it's one of those guys? Is it Jarvis or is it Suzuki that comes out with him?
Well, Bennett will come out. I don't know who the 13th forward is going to be because he can dress the 13, of course. Suzuki was kind of skating in practice in the spot you would think McKinnon would be, between Hagel and Sam Reinhart. So maybe he just shifts back to the wing and McKinnon comes in there with Hagel and him, and then Reinhart drops down to the fourth line, and then Jarvis becomes the 13th forward, and they kind of rotate in on that fourth line. Not sure what they're going to do, but McKinnon will be in that spot beside Hagel. Someone will be on the wing. Suzuki hasn't looked particularly comfortable to my eye on the wing. He hasn't played it in a long time since he was a rookie or his first years in Montreal. So that can be tricky with pucks on the wall, and the Czechs can be a big, strong team defensively. So will be intriguing to see. Maybe Suzuki's the 13th forward. Maybe he's on that wing in that spot again, and they give it another go. The McKinnon line hasn't really gotten into flight in this tournament. They've been fine. McKinnon's been good because he's just that good that even when there isn't a natural chemistry, he can still impact the game. But I do think they're still looking for some chemistry on that line.
Who's impressed you on the back end so far in the tournament for Canada, Mark?
I guess it's an easy answer to say Makar because he's always impressive, but maybe Taves. I think I was looking at the stats. He's leading the team in plus minus. I think he's subtly had a really good tournament. Like he's always subtle because he plays beside Makar, but he's been really good, and it's more of a group effort for Canada on the defensive side, right? No one's really popping, I wouldn't say, amongst their defensive players. But I think as a group, they've held up well. And then when they've broken down, they've had, the goalie make the saves they need.
Yeah. Did you have any concerns about Drew Doughty coming in just because, he was injured and so many miles on a guy that's been playing a long, long time? And to be honest, he's looked pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think it's just the Olympic experience. He did not look nervous to me in that first game. I thought he just was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I've been waiting for this. I've been fighting to get back here. Let's giddy up and ride. So I think he's been really good. There are questions, of course. He's a little bit on the older side. Is he going to look out of place against the speed at this best on best level? But he's been fine. Actually, I should say Thomas Harley is probably the guy who impressed me on the back end. I think as a younger guy, people were maybe wondering, is he going to be even in the starting 7 or the top 6? And I think he's been really solid. Seems to elevate just like he did at the Four Nations when he came in as an injury replacement last year. So Harley's been impressive. Doughty beside him has been impressive. I think those two will be back together. I would think maybe not with Morrissey now out. Maybe Harley moves back up, but those two guys have been a good match, and both players have performed well so far here in Milan.
One last one for you, Mark. Just, everyone knows that, the Czechs had to play Denmark yesterday. Lucas Dostal played. But on a back-to-back, is there any problem there with them going back to Dostal against Canada here?
Well, I asked him about that the other day, and he said no problem. It's easier to play back-to-back here. He said there's no travel. And also the 4:40 local start, it's, you're in bed at a reasonable hour. So you get rest. The village is great. The treatment is there. He said it would not be a problem. I expect, they go right back to him. He's their guy. He led them to a world championship a couple of years ago in Czechia. He was talking, actually a little emotional about how a little kid from a small village in Czechia now gets to play Canada in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. It's pretty special for him. He's the guy who you would be scared of if you're Canada, because he is capable of going to another level and keeping Czechia in it and keeping it a close game where a bounce can kill you. You wouldn't think that he'd be able to hold up against this superpower of Canada and how they've been rolling the lines and looking so good offensively. But that's the guy that if you're Canada, that scares you today.
Mark, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the game and the rest of the Olympics. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Thanks so much.
It's Mark Masters from TSN. Game time just over an hour away. Canada and the Czechs, and a great update with Bennett and Morrissey and Marchand drawing back in. So that is the next game of the quarterfinals coming up. And then Finland and the Swiss at 10:10, the United States at Sweden at 1:10. And that's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where, again, clear out on the remaining 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas continues. They're going to go fast. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. Maybe the biggest aspect, Duke, of quarterfinal Wednesday, Snoop Dogg is going to be part of the U.S. and Sweden Olympic quarterfinal game alternative broadcast. So,
wow,
will
we have access to that?
I don't know.
Maybe that seems like something that they'd just be airing on Peacock, like the NBC streaming service.
Third period alternate presentation on Peacock during Wednesday's quarterfinal, Duke. So the third period, maybe he's like, I can't do a whole game.
Oh,
by the time he gets there and he's so blitzed, right? Maybe he just kind of
just mosey on up into the booth.
The chisel and the fizzle and the whizzle and the thizzle, whatever it is.
Oh, shizzle.
Oh, shizzle. So I don't know what is this good? Is it going to be like the Mannings, or like what are we looking at?
I have to think that he'll just be in the booth and maybe provide the occasional comment about like, oh damn, Didn't know they were like that or something. And then maybe a little scrum will break out. Like Snoop Dogg, he's been seen at many hockey games before, living in between Kings and the Ducks and other places. Obviously, SoCal being his main area of residence. So, I don't like. There'll be some funny clips come of it for sure. But in terms of tuning in for a full period, I'm not sure what the total net value of it would be for a viewer.
No,
I'll be satisfied getting the highlights of what he has to say and chime in on after the game.
Yeah, I mean, big football guy.
Oh, yeah.
He coached his son in high school, I think, right?
Yeah, because he's got a little, or not little, but he's got an academy type thing, I believe, out in California, where he coaches youth football, and then it's like under his umbrella, and his kid went on to play some college ball, I think.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll hear from some Oilers who spoke yesterday following their optional practice. I know Zach Hyman said he took his family to Disneyland or Disney World, one of the two. Duke, I thought maybe you'd...
Well, that sounds great.
Hitch your ride.
He took his kids.
Hitch your ride.
How it's supposed to be, as it was designed to be done.
I don't know why you think it's just not the place to be, Duke. I don't know. Unbelievable.
Because it's for kids.
Come on, Duke. It's just a joy to be there, Duke. That's coming up when we return on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
You know what would be even better than winning gold?
Okay, I'll bite.
Winning a gold medal made of Wilhock beef jerky.
Athletes do get hungry, and they could use a snack on the podium. I think I'll start a petition.
Really?
No. Now pass the Wilhock and turn up the games.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Wilhock beef jerky, made with Alberta pride right here in Leduc.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is happening now. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and started the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Crave presents a new must-see original crime drama.
You think you can just walk away with drug money and nobody's going to come find you?
The Borderline.
You killed my friend.
Set along the Thousand Islands border, a cop blurs the line to protect his past.
I'm going to keep you out of jail.
Starring Stephen Amell, Tamara Podemski, Hamza Haq, and Minnie Driver.
Did you catch the bad guys?
I always catch the bad guys. The Borderline. Stream now. Only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:44 in Edmonton. Man, oh man, Canada with a big sixth end in the curling against Italy. A steal of 4. Joel Retornis didn't have much, wrecked on a guard out front and gave up a steal of 4. So Canada leads 7-3, playing the 7th end in men's curling, and the Canadians wrapped up a playoff spot yesterday. Should mention, so the lines for Canada and the Czech, game time less than an hour away. The top 6, well, basically top 9 stay the same. McDavid between Celebrini and Wilson. McKinnon, Suzuki, Hagel. Then you got the Crosby, Marner, Stone line. Brad Marchand draws back in. He'll skate with Bo Horvat and Sam Reinhart. The 13th forward is Seth Jarvis. Taves and McCarr, obviously. Harley and Doughty. And then, the rotation with Shea Theodore as the 7th man with Colton Parayko and Travis Sanheim, and Jordan Bennington, the Bins, gets the start in goal for Canada. Up against Lucas Dostal from Duke's Ducks. As mentioned, the Oilers returning to practice yesterday. A few players spoke to the media following, including Zach Hyman, who really, this was a good week off plus and time to recharge. The batteries recharged and get ready for the stretch run here. And Hyman had these comments to the media following yesterday's practice.
Zach, how was the break?
Great. Yeah, really good break.
Is it a little weird having a break in the middle of the season at this length of time? I mean, I know, breaks have happened for other reasons, but just to have one for Olympic break this long, is it different, I guess? Or?
Yeah, different for sure. I mean, we had a good one last year with the Four Nations. This one's a little bit longer, but we're practicing and we don't play for another week. So, there's still a lot of break left, I should say, and it'll be good to clean up on things.
Ryan mentioned he's been watching a lot of Olympics too. Have you been tuning in quite a bit?
No, I haven't. We took the kids to Disney, so it was a offline kind of week. But I'll be catching up on things this week.
Zach, at the pace of the schedule and how busy it was, especially in January, how important have you found this break? I know that you're probably running around busy, but how important has it been for you guys?
I think anytime you get we put a lot of hockey in the last 3 years. So, for a lot of us to have a break like this in the middle of the season, it's obviously unorthodox, but you want to take advantage of it and you want to rest and heal up whatever you got going on. And it's just a nice break and nice reset for our group. And yeah, I guess we have a full week of team practice just to kind of sharpen up, and it's kind of like a mini training camp, really. And you don't get that very often.
You mentioned you haven't watched too much of the Olympics, but having Leon and Connor now in the quarterfinals here coming up, starting tomorrow. Is that going to be like two guys you've buddies with, who you've played with for a long time now? Getting a chance to see those guys compete on the stage for the first time in their careers. What does that mean to you to see those guys there?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I haven't watched much, but statistically, they're both off the charts. So, I think Connor's broken the Canadian record in 3 games, and then crazy like that. And Leon's carrying doing his thing, carrying his team, and right up there. I'm sure statistically, I think he had like 2 goals or 1 goal and 2 assists today, whatever it was. So, they're leaders. They drive the bus on whatever team they're on, whether it be our team or the respective Olympic teams, and cheering for both those guys. And I think there may be a path that they can make the finals together. So that'll be fun. We'll be cheering for that final.
What was it like to see Szymanski be able to find the success that he did this morning? Obviously, being able to make a big goal, and just a young guy like that, fun as well.
It's awesome. He's such a great kid. Such a great person. Always has a smile on his face. Easy guy to cheer for, easy guy to like, and wishing him all the best there, obviously. And I thought he played great when he was up with us, and he's obviously carried it over into the Olympic stage, which is not easy to do at his age.
So Zach Hyman, obviously questions about Germany, and the Germans lost to Leon Draisaitl, Josh Szymanski, 6-2 this morning to Slovakia. Hyman, 22 goals in 39 games. I mean, he's going to crack 30 again. I wonder if he's got a chance. Like, I mean, that pace is insane. What do they got? 24, 25 games left. If he can pick up 10 or 11 or 12, whatever it is, he's going to, pushing for 35. Pretty amazing. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has 13 goals, 32 assists, and 45 points in his 49 games. And following yesterday's skate, RNH had these comments to the media.
Ryan, what's it like to, have this break to enjoy some Olympic flow?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously, been playing a lot of hockey, so to get a mental and physical break has been really nice. And tune in every day you wake up, you can throw the Olympics on and see some cool, obviously, watching hockey, but some cool other events too. So always cheering for Canada. And it's been nice just to have some time at home.
I know it probably doesn't surprise you how well Canada's been playing, but maybe impressed you with their game and what you can appreciate from that.
I mean, they just come out waves at teams. Everybody's just every line, every D pair is an elite line or D pair, and that's hard to play against. I mean, there's no break, there's no let up from anybody. So I know that's been hard to handle for other teams, and hopefully continues on here.
I like seeing Connor and Leon play at the Olympics. You guys spent their entire careers with, just seeing them on that stage.
It's very cool. Both guys obviously would have had more opportunities, had to wait until this moment. So I know they're both fired up for it, and obviously Leon's leading that team to a quarterfinal game here. So that's going to be exciting to watch. And I don't think it's decided who Canada's got quite yet. Is it Czech now? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, obviously Connor's just been doing his thing, lighting up, and always fun to watch. But excited for them. It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes watching just from afar on TV, but it's been fun.
If you like to watch other events, any specific events that you like to watch in the Olympics? Is there any Olympic sports that if you were a hockey player that you could see yourself maybe trying?
Well, trying. I mean, I'd try anything, but I don't think I'd be very good at many. I don't think I'd try the ski jumping and stuff like that. I mean, it's another level of trust in your abilities, and but that's always fun to watch. McMorris, obviously, I think it's tomorrow in the slopestyle final, so I'll be watching that. But the moguls, like the dual moguls where they're racing, and we got the gold like yesterday or the day before, and that one's just so much speed, so hard on your body. For them to be able to control it, go off a jump, do a flip, go right back into it is crazy to me. But no, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff to watch that you never get to see on TV usually, so it's unique right now. So had fun watching.
Can you just talk about the energy of these, it's an optional practice, the fact that you guys are back together after a little bit of a break, and
yeah, it was nice. Just getting everybody together, talking about the break, and getting a quick skate out there where it's just a lot of games, kind of just having fun and a lot of chirping back and forth. So it's always nice after these long breaks to see each other and kind of get things going again.
That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins following yesterday's optional skate. The Oilers back at it this morning, 11 bells. They'll have, and again, they're going to be ramping it up as the week progresses. They'll have skates all the way through. And then one last one Monday before departing for California. And they got the back-to-back with the Ducks and Kings. And then they got the San Jose Sharks. It's 3 out of 4 when they return. And that third game on the fourth day is an afternoon tilt. So they got some tough scheduling here when they come back from the break. Coming up at the top of the hour, we've got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. David Schlemko will be by, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision at 9 bells. We'll break away and talk a little NFL with Jacob Robinson from The Athletic. Lots to talk about with the San Francisco 49ers. Patrick Mahomes restructured his contract, so that's a big savings for the Kansas City Chiefs. So basically cut his contract in half for the salary cap. Liam Hrobin from Oilers Nation will slide in at 9:20. And then we've got Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. He'll check in at 10:20. By that time, it'll be into the third period. I guess close to the third period, just starting, I think, for the Canadian-Czech game. As mentioned all morning, Germany and Slovakia is one of the quarterfinal games in the books. Slovakia wins at 6-2. Also coming up, Finland and the Swiss, the United States and Sweden with Snoop Dogg on the call. No, just kidding. But he's going to be doing something in the third period. We actually got quite a few texts about Snoop Dogg sliding in and doing some work for NBC Peacock. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for your businesses, your sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
This morning from the Olympics, Antoine Cyr and Xavier McKeever finished sixth in the men's cross-country team sprint freestyle. On the women's side, Edmonton's own Allison Mackey and her partner Liliane Gagnon also finishing in sixth. The men's snowboard slopestyle final, Mark McMorris finished in eighth, Cameron Spalding in 10th, and in the women's aerials, Marion Thrope advanced out of qualifying but failed to get into the medal run. Currently, after guaranteeing a spot in the semifinal yesterday, Brad Jacobs' men's curling team leads Italy 7-3 in the seventh, and Canada's women's 4x6K biathlon team racing for a medal, and a pair of ladies in the snowboard slopestyle final as we speak. Still to come today, our men's hockey team taking on Czechia in quarterfinal action beginning at 8:40. Josh Morrissey, Sam Bennett expected to sit for Canada. Rachel Holman's curling team will try to keep their playoff hopes alive against Italy at 11. And in short track speed skating, the men's 500-meter quarterfinal starting at 12:15 with 3 Canucks in the field, and the women's 3,000-meter relay team will skate for a medal just before 1 o'clock. Elsewhere, men's hockey quarterfinals already underway. Slovakia defeated Germany 6-2 earlier this morning, and Switzerland will play Finland just after 10. United States taking on Sweden at 1:10. From the NFL's offseason, Kansas City Chiefs have restructured quarterback Patrick Mahomes' contract, creating some salary cap space ahead of this next season. Lowers the star quarterback's cap hit number to $34.65 million. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, as well as Jacob Robinson from The Athletic covering the NFL. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com. Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense. Sometimes you think about what you're going to do in the day. Go to work, pick up the kids from school, make supper. But at GS Construction, we think a little differently. Winter is our season to think, to plan, and to improve. We study, we innovate, we train. So when the thaw comes, we're ready to dig, build, and deliver even better, which means we need people like you. If you're thinking about joining the team at GS Construction, now's the time to do it. To apply and to see how we think, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Karius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
As players get ready to represent Canada, the regular hockey season takes a break. But don't forget about your winter breaks, BRAKES. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find gold medal level stopping power and all your other world-class automotive parts and needs, like podium-worthy Napa Gold filters. Napa Auto Parts is here to support your commute, your drive to the rink, and eventually your own gold medal moment. With close to 600 locations throughout the country and over 85 in Alberta, stop into your local Napa store today. Let's go, Canada! That's Napa know-how.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8 o'clock in Edmonton. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Spring's coming, and so are the Corvettes. Come see the vets inside Northgate showroom. Get 0% financing. See more at northgategm.com. Yeah, you'd want to be inside in the showroom today and yesterday. The way she was howling as we welcome in Mark here from Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
26 below only. What the heck? It's not so bad.
Hey, you know what? Our most, well, not most, but one of the more popular aspects on our text line is about Snoop Dogg. Because I mentioned that he's going to be doing the third period on the Sweden-USA game on Peacock.
Okay.
A half dozen texts come in saying that they'd like to see him do curling. And, he did he was a big football guy, so he used to have a camp, and J-Dog texted in about that, about how many players attended his camp and things like that. So I went on to play pro ball and things like that, Spec. So the old dog.
Yeah, like my buddy's old high school coach said, Snoop Dogg would have been pretty good until his game went to pot and hash and oil.
Well, wasn't he? What event? He was at an event with Martha Stewart the other day, was he not? I think.
Yeah, he hangs with Martha Stewart. Yeah,
I know. Well, they do a show together.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened there. I think when she got incarcerated, she came out somehow appreciating Snoop Dogg a little bit more somehow.
Well, he I think he was visiting her in jail or whatever.
Speaking of incarcerated, so I'd do a bunch of snow blowing yesterday out at the lake, and I get a little thirsty, so I walk into Jungles, have a cold beer to kind of quench my thirst for lunchtime. And there's a bunch of boys in there, and they're like, Spec, do you work with Kevin Karius? I said, oh, yeah. It's my honor to work with Kevin Karius.
Yeah. Jungles is the little pub out there?
There is a little pub in Alberta Beach called Jungles. It's a fine establishment. Guys are same as me. Guys are shoveling snow. Took a little time off yesterday for a midday beers. Bunch of beauties sitting on the bar in there. You know what they have out there, Kev, that you'd like? I don't think anywhere else has this. You order a draft. You know what kind of draft they're serving? They're serving Black Label draft. Does anybody even make Black Label draft anymore?
How long has it been sitting out there?
Tastes good.
Yeah. Well, cold beer is a good beer, Spec, especially after shoveling snow.
That's it. Exactly.
Did you have the blower going then for how many hours?
Well, I think the Germans are probably having a couple of Black Labels right about now, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was tough. Leon played like half the game, 28 and change. Lost to Slovakia 6-2.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying Specky took 32 face-offs.
He did, eh?
Yeah, and I mean, he was out there in every situation, and it's good. I think that the Oilers now that that for the Oilers getting back, and Leon can have 2, 3, 4 days off, whatever it is. Take as many as you want. Come back on Monday. Who gives a crap here? But he comes back, and then they head out for their California.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether he should just go from Milan to Greece, or I know he's got a place in Portugal.
Yeah.
But I don't know how warm it is there. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe you just send him down to some nice spa in California and say, we'll meet you down there.
Yeah.
Right? Go straight from Milan to Lake Tahoe or some real nice place down there and just chill out for 4 or 5 days. Don't put on a pair of skates, and we'll see you down there for a practice on Tuesday. How about that?
Yeah, I think you want to get him kind of over here, no? Like,
yeah, you do. You want to get him on the time zone. So,
yeah.
So I mean, listen, Leon's a big boy. He'll make his own decisions, but I certainly don't need to see him until you get to California if I'm the Oilers.
Well, just think about Speck, like when he had to attend to some family business there, like several weeks ago. He came back, probably shouldn't have played that game, right?
Yeah.
Because he was in a fog. So I think they just need to get him, kind of adjusted here.
Yeah, just get some rest. Like everybody else got rest. Hopefully Connor's going to play right through till Sunday, and he'll be flying Monday, and the team's practicing Tuesday in California. I'm sure he won't be, but like I say, you do have a chance here. It's Wednesday, so Leon has, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He could have 5 days off. One of those days he's going to spend on a plane coming home from Milan, but I'd get him into LA as fast as I could and tell him we'll just pick you up down there.
Yeah, and I like his wife's working down there too, right? Isn't she doing some stuff?
I don't know. Sure. Celeste is doing something. She's in the business, so maybe they got lots of connections. We're not concerned about him being able to find a nice place to rest his head a little bit. But the point is, don't put on any gear. Take a break from hockey for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Canada and Czech's about 35 minutes away here. 35 minutes away. And Bennett's out, Morrissey's out.
Yep.
McKinnon's back. Not back in. He didn't practice yesterday. Marchand is back in. So a couple changes here for Team Canada.
Marchand for Bennett basically is your change, right?
Yep.
Morrissey stays out. A lot of people thought he was going to come in for Theodore. So, or maybe Parayko, but probably for Theodore. So, I mean, listen, I don't know. Like, you never know. The player, Theodore is such a good player. Maybe the coach says, is Morrissey absolutely 100%? I sure don't need him at 90 when I got Theodore playing. He's a good player. So, this is a little different than an NHL team.
Yeah.
When you get Morrissey almost ready to come back and you're Winnipeg, you get him back as fast as you can because he's your best player. Morrissey's really good, but he's not the best player here. They can afford to wait.
And in this Canada game, and like I think the Czechs had a little more oomph in their top line with Pasternak, and I think Netchis was up there at times in their prior game. I think there'll be a little more separation between those two guys. But to me, again, the key for the Canadians is this Crosby line with Marner and Stone. They have been just so good in all situations. And I mean, when you look at what head coach John Cooper said here, Spec, that's the only line I've never even thought about pulling apart. Never even thought about inserting someone on that line.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's Canada's strong? I mean, they got so many strong points. I think probably their best and most underrated thing is the fact that they're just so deep. Every single player is a good player. Their fourth line has Bo Horvat on it, So, and Marchand. So it's your depth, a team like Checo, like if I can Marty Natchez has been their best guy, in my opinion. He's their best player. So if I can, it's kind of like playing Germany. Everyone just tries to shut down Draisaitl, and we can beat the rest of that team. And that's when they lost their games. That's what happened. Draisaitl got nothing done, and the Germans didn't support him that well. I would say to you that Canada, let's say you shut down the McDavid line. Good luck. Well, McKinnon's up next. Then Crosby's up next. Then Horvat's up next, right? So it's a whole different animal. Like the Czechs are, they got a tall order if they're going to shut down all 4 of those lines today.
Yeah, I mean, but again, if Dostal could stand on his head, and Pasternak, to his own admitted spec, he hasn't been as good as he wants to be in this tournament so far. So, like, we all know that this guy's he's a one-shot scorer. He's a 40-goal guy. If he gets a couple looks here, they could be in the back of the net in a hurry here.
Well, they can. Like I say, I feel like if I'm coaching Canada, I'm focused on those 2 guys. Now, do we think they're on the same line or not?
I think, it doesn't look like they're on the same line right now, but I think you're going to go, it's going to be like Connor and Leon. You're going to go nuclear at some point during the game.
At some point. I mean, I just feel like if you take Natchez away, you're 2/3 of the way there. If you take Pasternak away, there's no possible way the Czechs beat you.
Yeah.
So that's just your focus. It's like they always say about McDavid. It's not one guy that's going to check him. Everyone on the ice has to know that McDavid's out against us, and we have to play a certain way against McDavid. And if I'm Canada, I'm really heavily focused on those 2 guys. Those 2 guys aren't going to beat me, Natchez and Pasternak. If the rest of that team can find a way to beat me, my hat's off to them, I guess. But
yeah, and it's
top heavy,
right?
right?
Right, Spec. It's the defense for the Czechs because they don't have the depth of defense that maybe they've had in the past, because they've had some pretty good defenses for the Czechs, over the years. But really, when you got Hronek and then Gudas as far as your real everyday NHLers currently, there's a drop off after that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and Ruda's playing for that team.
Yeah, Kempney, and Simek, and David Spacek, Yaro's son, David Spacek, is there. So,
Yeah, he's a young guy that's making his way in Montreal. Like, he's going to be a good player. But, yeah, Radko Gudas, he's been I love Radko Gudas, but he's past his career is on the downside on the back 9, right? He can't keep up with these guys.
Yeah.
Go hard at Radko Gudas. There's no chance he can handle the speed that Canada's going to bring at him. Not a chance.
Mark Spector with us from Rogers Sportsnet. Oilers were returning to the ice yesterday by all accounts, Spec. A pretty decent turnout for an optional. They're back today at 11 bells. When are you sliding back into town here?
Yeah, no, I'm in town. I'm going to go today. I'm just trying to work out my morning. I guess I'll watch. What can a guy watch 2 periods and then swing over to the rink for the 3rd? Is that how we're going to do it today? Or
basically, yeah. So, they're on the ice at 11. The game will just be ending right just shortly after 11. So,
yeah. So I figure the second intermission is going to come around 10:20, 10:25.
Yeah.
So that's probably what a guy will do. I'm at in Edmonton, 5 minutes from the rink. So
I wasn't sure, Spec, if you got in yet.
Yeah, I went in last night. The roads were, but. Let's just say this. I was happy driving a nice 4-wheel drive truck from Mikey's place up in Northgate GMC, man. I was on the road, and it was an ugly, ugly highway, boy. Last night. Man.
I was saying earlier too, Spec, this is off topic, but I think the last 36 hours have been the toughest, the most nastiest that we've had all winter here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a foot of snow, basically.
Yeah.
Out in Alberta Beach, we got a foot of snow. I don't know about you guys here, but looks like lots and drifty and this is Edmonton. Like, just when you think, right? Just when you think, oh man, it's February 16th and it's still warm. Like, maybe we're out of Dodge here.
We got another week of this here, Spec. Another week.
Yeah, here comes the snow. Here comes another week at 25 below, and it'll be over, and March will come, and we'll be good here. But don't think that winter's over in February, folks. Winter's never over in February. It's just not the way it works.
Yeah. So you heard some probably comments from the Oilers here, Spec, after their practice yesterday, how they want to ramp things up in the next, day or probably 4 days straight. So this is a team that wants to, they said they were kind of like a mini training camp. I don't know if it gets to that stage, if you want to call it that, but I mean, this is a team that, coming out of this break, those 3 games that they got in 4 days, those are all teams that are right on their heels here, right on their ass in the Western Conference standings.
Yep, big games right away for sure. A chance to make a little separation right away, or the opposite. A chance to find yourself right in the glue, man. If you go through those 3 and don't win any of them, everyone's going to be right in your grill. So, listen, everyone's around the league saying the same thing, Kev. This is a chance to reset. This is a chance to have a mini training camp. This is we're going to turn our season around coming out of the Olympic break. Everyone's going to say it. Only some teams are going to do it. So Edmonton's mature. They're smart. We've been waiting around all season here for some consistency in the kind of game that it takes to win playoff rounds. We all have seen it. We know what it is. The team knows what it is. The players know how to play it. They haven't done it over long stretches of time in this season. We're basically, we're 2/3 of the way through, almost 3/4. And they can start any time, right? Now's the time to start. I would say this to you. If we're having this conversation at the trade deadline or just past it, this team will be in trouble. It's time to, if they can do it, it's time to show us they can do it.
What team scares you that's like right on their heels? So they're only a point ahead of Seattle here, Spec, in the Pacific. Seattle's got 2 games in hand. The Kings are right there. The Ducks are there. Sharks are in the vicinity. Which of those teams scares you the most?
Well, probably the Ducks, I think. None of them really scare me, to be honest with you. And everyone's going through the same thing. So Connor McDavid's coming home tired. Dostal's coming home tired in Anaheim. Celebrini's coming home tired in San Jose. Best player by a country mile. Kings have a couple guys playing. I mean, they've lost Fiala. Kings are done. Fiala's not playing the rest of the year. So everyone's going to have some issues, but I'm not afraid of any of those teams. I'm certainly not afraid of Seattle putting it together and beating you. Like, Seattle doesn't score enough goals. So this is entirely, it might sound cocky, this is entirely in the Oilers' hands. If they play as well as they can play, we won't be talking about any of those other teams. And if they continue to muddle around and they continue to play sort of kind of half-hearted defensive hockey, then we're going to be counting the teams passing them by.
What about Vegas? Can they catch Vegas? I mean, you mentioned all the guys. They got a mid full of guys at the Olympics too.
You can catch Vegas. Why not? What's Vegas? 3 points up on them?
4 with the game in hand.
4, big deal. There's 20 games left. That's nothing. You play them a whole bunch. You play them at least twice, not 3 times. I know there's 2 trips to Vegas here. So absolutely, this is about a team that has every year for the last several years has found its game at this time of year. And I'm not telling you they won't. I am a guy that goes on history, Kevin. If you've done it 3 or 4 times, I expect you're going to do it again. I expect the Oilers will find their game. I expect to play. Again, this is about defensive hockey and not hemorrhaging chances and having the highest grade A's of any goalies around, right?
Yeah.
I trust that they'll do it. And if they don't, there's going to be a deep dive, figure out why.
Good stuff, Spec. We'll see you down at the rink at some point. They're got an alumni skate, but a little later in the day here today. So,
you're skating today. Good for you. I'll be working, Kev, so that's okay.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
I'd say it's about time anyway.
Yeah, you've got a good little run here that you've had off.
Haven't done anything for about a week and a half here.
There are jungle gyms here. Holy cow.
All right, I'll see you at the rink.
Okay, sounds good, Spec. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com. Text 833-401-1440. Kyle says, is Kevin from Czech? Why is he so petrified of this team? He hyped them for a week pre-tourney. He's doing it again. You think I'm petrified by them, Duke? Petrified, stupefied, mystified.
Sensationalized.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're petrified, but I think you're disrespecting an opponent. This isn't some throwaway game up in Rochester.
Easy, Paul Newman. Yeah. I mean, like Pasta, if he
Good
gets
player.
he scares me. Your buddy Dostal.
He is Spec's right. He is the type of player, or was it Mark that Masters had mentioned it? He is the type of goalie that can steal a game.
Yeah.
He has that ability. You go back to the round robin game. I mean, he had a couple 10-bell stops before the game eventually did get out of hand. And at a certain point, when you look at this Canadian roster, the waves on waves on waves, it's tough to keep up. But you have to think that he's going to try and give him a chance to win the hockey game.
When we come back, we're going to bust away from hockey for like 15, 20 minutes before Canada and the Czechs at 8:40 with Jacob Robinson from The Athletic on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the nerve center of game-watching greatness, my sanctuary, my Bro Zone.
Whoa, giant screen, comfy chairs. You've thought of everything.
Almost everything. Where are the snacks? We can't cheer on Canada without the proper fuel.
Way ahead of you. Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the official snack of the Bro Zone.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Wilhock Beef Jerky, made with Alberta pride, right here in Leduc.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Greger sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Greger 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Crave presents a new must-see original crime drama.
You think you can just walk away with drug money and nobody's going to come find you?
The Borderline.
You killed my friend.
Set along the Thousand Islands border, a cop blurs the line to protect his past.
I'm going to keep you out of jail.
Starring Stephen Amell, Tamara Podemski, Hamza Haq, and Minnie Driver.
Did you catch the bad guys?
I always catch the bad guys.
The Borderline. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Every fresh chef-crafted gourmet meal is handcrafted from scratch with fresh ingredients and arrives at your door fully cooked and ready to heat, eat, and repeat. Order at meals.loca.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:22 in Edmonton, awaiting the start of Canada and the Czechs coming up in about less than 20 minutes. Quarterfinal action at the Olympics for men's hockey. Time now, though, for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Jacob Robinson from The Athletic. Good morning, Jacob. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be with you, Kevin. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, a couple of big headlines in the NFL recently, probably the most notable with Patrick Mahomes and changing the whole salary cap situation with the Kansas City Chiefs. Jason Fitzgerald from Over the Cap was the first to report on it, Jacob. But man, this is a big change, and it's affording the Chiefs to do some things next year and down the road where they're almost cutting in half his base salary here to go towards the cap here, Jacob.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how often they've actually been doing this. And that's what made his 10-year contract so interesting when he signed it quite a few years ago now. It was at the time an unprecedented $450 million contract, but we've seen it change and look different every year. And the NFL salary cap is such an interesting phenomenon. I'm actually writing about it for tomorrow's newsletter, about how teams manipulate the cap so easily. And through these void years, through restructuring contracts like they're doing with Mahomes, you can free up 10s, 20s, 30s, 60, sometimes as high as $60 million worth of salary cap space just by moving the money around. So it really frees up a team like the Chiefs so that they can improve maybe their offensive line. They can get another receiver for Mahomes, improve that defense, and hopefully add a running back, which I think is their biggest need.
Yeah. So is that where you would say their wish list is starting at running back and then O-line, Jacob?
Yeah, I'd say running back probably should be their number one target. They had no run game this year, and we saw the two teams in the Super Bowl really leaned on their run game, or at least the threat of the run game, which opens up the play action pass. That allows you to get explosive passes down the field, something the Chiefs, particularly Patrick Mahomes, has emphasized last offseason. He said, we want to improve the deep ball. It was something that they had when Tyreek Hill was there. He really unlocked that part of their offense. They've been missing it since he left. And if they can get it back, I think it starts with the run game, having at least that threat. That pulls the safeties in a little bit more and doesn't allow them to get deep on every pass, something that the Seahawks did really well en route to the Super Bowl.
So I think, what are they picking at 9 or 10 here? So is there something in the draft that could suit them, or do they go to free agency as far as a running back, you think, Jacob?
Cool. Well, the scary proposition would be if the top running back in this draft, Jeremiah Love, falls to them at number 10. I mean, he's in that Bijan Robinson type of category in terms of running back. And if he drops to them, I think the rest of the world, the NFL, will be in a deep trouble, because Jeremiah Love is one of those running backs that can really break the game open. And if you have that threat out of the backfield, now all of a sudden Mahomes can have so much more room to operate down the field. That being said, though, they have a pretty premium pick, as you mentioned, number 10. Mm-hmm. If they want to use that on an offensive lineman, particularly like a right tackle, or improve the trenches maybe on the interior, I think that would be a smart play for them as well. So I'd lean them going offense that early in the draft.
Jacob Robinson from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. I remember when, and you mentioned when Patrick Mahomes signed that 10-year, $450 million contract 6 years ago now. And I remember it's like, holy cow, this is a big number. And then guys like yourself and everyone went into the details about how the possibilities of restructuring could help the team moving forward. And all of a sudden they were saying, like, it's almost like there's a bargain here for a $450 million contract. You remember that, Jacob?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's the big distinction between a lot of teams in the NFL. What they'll do is they'll give a big contract, and then they'll convert, like we saw the Chiefs do with Mahomes, they'll convert some of his salary into a signing bonus. Mm-hmm. So rather than it be paid out consistently through the season, they'll convert it to a signing bonus. It gets hit all at once, and then they can extrapolate that signing bonus over the lifetime of the contract, rather than having, if it was just a salary, it accrue just that season. And that's what we've seen teams like the Eagles do. Howie Roseman, the general manager there, has done a phenomenal job of pushing cap hits into the future so that they can build the best team possible now. And this is all based on the assumption that the cap will continue to rise, which we've seen it steadily do in increasing amounts since sports gambling was largely legalized across the U.S. in 2018.
Do you think they're done as far as contract restructuring? I mean, they got the opportunity to do a guy like Chris Jones here too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Chris Jones gets a contract restructure. It's in the team's best interest. It just depends on the ownership and whether or not they want to fork over that cash in the short term or wait until they have more funds. And that's why we often see teams like the Eagles, like the Commanders sometimes do, who have ownership willing to pay money up front rather than wait in the long run. And the Browns did this, and it's backfired with Deshaun Watson. So there are quite a few ways that this can go.
Mm-hmm. Jacob Robinson from The Athletic, our guest on Sports 1440. As far as across the league, Jacob, any other headlines that are sort of catching your eye right now? We still got a little ways to go before the combine and the draft. It's almost like this is the downtime as far as news goes, though.
It is. It's a good chance for me to practice my golf game in my garage, Kevin. But it's, the one thing I'm looking at is free agency. And accompanying free agency is often the trade market. So there's two aspects of that. In terms of free agency, I really want to see what happens with the quarterback market. We have about 8 teams, I'd say, who have questions at quarterback. Will Aaron Rodgers come back to the Steelers? What did the Jets do at quarterback? They probably won't be able to draft one in the positions they're picking. There's Malik Willis. He's probably going to be the best quarterback available, and he's been incredible, but he's only started 4 games since he was signed in Green Bay, or since he was traded to Green Bay. So there's a lot of question marks on the quarterback market. And then in the trade market, it's really interesting with a player like Max Crosby, who I assume Clint Kubiak and that new sort of tweaked Raiders front office wants to keep the leader of their team in the building. But if you have this 28-year-old pass rusher and you can get, I've heard potentially multiple first-round picks for him, it's a pretty hard bargain to pass off. We saw what the Lions did when they traded Matthew Stafford for Goff. They got multiple picks. They helped build a perennial contender with that. So I think that temptation will be there. And then the other name is A.J. Brown, who I think is more likely to be moved than Crosby, just given his disappointment in the offense and how much he wants to be a contributor to a team in the NFL. And he wants to work with a quarterback and work with an offensive system that will allow him to do that.
Where do you think Crosby's headspace is at, Jacob? Because, how long till they turn, if they ever turn things around in Vegas? And, by that time, Crosby's going to be, an older player and maybe doesn't want to be part of a rebuild there.
Yeah, and we saw what happened with Myles Garrett, right? He took the money to stay in Cleveland. He got a record contract, and he's not happy. He's really not enjoying himself. And I'm sure if he could go back in time, maybe he still takes the money, but maybe he doesn't. And I know Crosby's a competitor. My colleague Diana Rossini has spoken with people. I think spoken with him. He said if he could play for any coach, he'd want to play for Mike Vrabel. He had a podcast interview earlier this offseason where any team he'd play for besides the Raiders would be Detroit. He went to Michigan State, so he has ties to the Lions there. I think either of those teams, the Pats or the Lions, they both have needs for pass rushers. Particularly the Lions, I think the idea of him being across from Aiden Hutchinson. I asked Jameer Gibbs about it when I was at the Super Bowl in San Francisco, and he was like, oh man, can you imagine? Like, he was pretty excited by the idea. And I think bringing those two players together would not only be great for the Lions, but good for Max as well, personally.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned A.J. Brown too. Jacob, is there a team or two that you think is a possible landing spot for him in a trade?
Yeah, I think there's a couple really intriguing landing spots, and you have to almost cut off any team that doesn't have a competent quarterback and an offense that throws the ball at least a decent amount. The first name that comes to mind is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's needed a receiver for a long time now to unlock that offense. We saw Joe Brady, his offensive coordinator, get promoted to head coach. And so you'd have to assume that Brady now has a little bit more leeway to pull trigger on a big trade like that. They've tried addressing his situation in free agency. They've tried addressing by trading for sort of lower level guys, and no one's been able to stand out. But a player like A.J. Brown, who is still in his prime, still an excellent player, one of the top receivers in the league, he would be such a great fit for Josh Allen's arm, for the offense that they want to run in Buffalo, and help unlock that sort of run game, pass game, run game options that we saw them thrive with in the Eagles last season when they won the Super Bowl. The other option that would be interesting would be the Patriots. Stephon Diggs was their number one receiver. He played a lot out of the slot this year. Brown can move into that role and sort of be a big slot receiver. He can play out wide as the X receiver. He can be the Y. Like, he can really be a chess piece for Josh McDaniels and their offensive coordinator there to move around and unlock some mismatches that were really missing from the Patriots offense in the playoffs. We saw Drake May struggle against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I think not having a number one receiver is the worst thing that you can do for a quarterback. We saw Joe Burrow is a great example. I'm a Bengals fan. We saw what happened when they added Chase. They went to the Super Bowl. And if you can just add that right receiver that will unlock your offense, it can pay huge dividends. So I wouldn't be surprised if teams are willing to fork over possibly even a first-round pick for someone like A.J. Brown.
So is that what you think the return would be, a first-rounder? And then also, can you sort of pony that? Are teams willing to, I guess, take the chance? Because, at times maybe his head isn't screwed on straight all the time.
Yeah, he does have that reputation. And even we've heard from him, he said after the Super Bowl, he goes, it felt great to win, but I would have liked to be a bigger contributor, and I felt a bit hollow. And so this is a player who is really concerned about how he contributes to the team. He still emphasizes the team, but he wants to be a contributor. He doesn't want to just be on some team that wins without him. And so to me, like, that will be an important point, and that also reduces the Eagles' leverage. I didn't think they'd be able to get a first-round pick for a 28-year-old receiver, but a lot of people that I've spoken to around the league disagree with me and think a late first-rounder, maybe a package that returns a third or some other early-round pick. We saw Stephon Diggs move on from Buffalo for a second-round pick from the Texans not long ago, and A.J. Brown is much better at this point in his career than Diggs was then. So I do think there's a market price that sees A.J. Brown moving for a first, which is unbelievable when you think about what the Eagles gave up to get him back in 2021.
Exactly. Jacob Robinson with us on Sports 1440. Franchise tags opening up. I think there was only 2 last year, Jacob. Will we see more this year? And does George Pickens head the list there?
Yeah, George Pickens definitely heads the list there. Our Cowboys beat reporters sort of confirmed that to me and on our website on The Athletic that, hey, they're gonna franchise tag Pickens with the idea of wanting to work out a long-term contract. We saw the Bengals do something similar with T. Higgins. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pickens stay in Dallas. They want him there. They traded Micah Parsons. They sort of freed up some salary cap space to make it work. In terms of other players, I would guess the running backs. If there's going to be any position that gets franchise tagged, it would be the running backs. The running back mark for a franchise tag is going to be about $13 million. So that's just under what Jonathan Taylor's average per year salary is, and just above what James Cook is making, 11.5. So it's kind of a ballpark where you're slightly overpaying for a player like Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, the 3 sort of premier running back free agents. But you avoid having to sign them for a long-term guaranteed contract, which we've seen teams smartly, I think, refuse to do after what happened with Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, where they got big guaranteed money and were done after a couple seasons.
The running backs still get hooped, don't they? Do you think there will ever be that market correction? Might be the wrong phrase, but they still get underpaid a lot, don't they?
They do, man. It's unfortunate, you know. It's kind of sad because it shows the business side of the NFL isn't always pretty. And these are guys who are sacrificing their long-term health, sacrificing their bodies, and don't often get a fair shake in terms of the salary they're making. Now, that being said, you know, they're still making often tens of millions of dollars, at least like single-digit millions, which is a lot more than I'm making. And mind you, my work isn't putting me in harm's way when I write my newsletter, but sometimes my wife gets mad at me, but you know, concussions from the slaps on the back of the head aside, it really does put them in harm's way. So it's I don't want to say it's sad to see, but it's unfortunate that that's developed. That being said, it's the smart thing to do because the shelf life of these running backs and the replaceability that they have. We saw Ashton Genty. He was the 6th overall pick. They said he was one of the best running back prospects we've seen ever. He had a bad season objectively. He struggled because you need an offensive line. You need the threat of a quarterback. You need a system in place for a running back to thrive. And I think it's one of those positions we don't talk about that enough. Look at what happened when Saquon went from the Giants, where he was good. He was objectively a great player, but he went to the Eagles where they had an offensive line. They had the threat of receivers downfield. He had one of the best running back seasons of all time. So it is a position that's so dependent on everyone else. And then you couple that with the short shelf life, it's really hard to justify paying anyone the market rate, which Saquon set last year at $20.6 million. And it looks like a lot of the running backs now are going to get much, much less than that.
What do you got cooking in The Athletic here? I know you mentioned you had the one article coming out tomorrow, but I would imagine things ramp up for you again with the combine and the draft right around the corner here.
Yep, Kevin, the NFL doesn't give us much of an offseason. We go from the Super Bowl to offseason questions to the NFL Combine. So I'll be in Indy next week covering the Combine, writing about it in the newsletter. Tomorrow I'm actually looking at the story we published today about the top 150 free agents. My colleague Daniel Popper did a great job of that on The Athletic. And through the newsletter, it's actually, these articles are free to read, so you can click the link and get access, which is really nice. So I'll be looking at the top free agents, what stood out to me from that list, but also how the salary cap works. I want to dive into that a bit, building off sort of your first question, which is how are teams able to manipulate the cap so easily? And that's something that I don't fully understand, I don't think. So I want to dive into that by writing about it and explain to people what I learned tomorrow in the newsletter.
You know, it's so different. Like for us up here, Jacob, obviously the NHL salary cap is front row center. And the difference between the two leagues, it's just like you can't even compare them. That's how different they are, how you can do the salary cap gymnastics. So,
Well, the non-guaranteed nature of NFL contracts. And Kevin, I know you said up here, but I'm Canadian as well, man. I'm just outside Toronto. I'm a proud Canadian. I love the idea that I'm a Canadian teaching Americans about NFL football every day. So it's, this NFL salary cap's a really interesting thing.
Great stuff. Hey, Jacob, really appreciate your time. Enjoy. Hey, well, you got the Canada game to watch here right away. In hockey. Sure. So enjoy that and the Olympics and stay busy with all your NFL stuff. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk soon.
Kevin, those were such great questions. Thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate it. Jacob Robinson from The Athletic. And again, our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Your top defense pairing against leaks. That's mrrooter.ca. We are, a couple minutes to game time, Canada and the Czech Republic. I had apologized, Duke. I thought that Jacob was down in the States.
It's always the assumption, right? When you cover in the NFL, right?
You know,
but he's based out of Toronto, lawyer, as well as work with the Athletics. So he's a busy guy. And he'd actually just mentioned when I rung him up, because I was talking about the snow we had up here. He said it was raining in Toronto today, which he said has cut his snowmobile season a little extra short.
And they got a couple feet out there.
I'm sure for the folks out there that like to partake in some of those winter sports, all the big dumps they got this winter were great. But big glaring freezing rain over top of all that can kibosh it all pretty quickly.
Puck drop right around the corner here, Canada and the Czechs. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,999. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
McValue meals are here. Get the McDs you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
There's a lot of great seasons in Alberta. Hockey season, harvest season, the winter season, and the even more winter season. But GS Construction is already preparing for our next great season because while the city slows down, we plan ahead. Projects, people, and pipelines. Everything starts taking shape for another strong year underground. We're also getting ready for our next hiring season in March. We want new people who want to build something that lasts. For more on us and to apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets, you'll cruise in comfort with heated seats and heated steering wheel. All this plus peace of mind with Subaru's top safety pick status for 19 years running. This winter, it's time to get you into a Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca today.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
The Winter Olympics have pairs skating. Kevin can't even find matching socks.
Gold medal mornings.
The Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Big program, 8:45 in Edmonton. The Duke with a critical error with the remote control. And Macklin
Or was it critical?
Yes, it was.
Because we got it flipped over just in time.
Macklin Celebrini just scores for Canada 3 minutes and 5 seconds into the game, beating Lucas Dostal with a wrist shot right in the slot. Connor McDavid with an assist. That'll be what, 10
Standard,
points?
10 points.
It's not a record, but it's above average.
It's about to be a record, I think.
Yeah. That's bad defense by really bad. That's Pasternak. Pasternak just
Gave it away.
absolutely turned the puck over, coughed it up. Connor McDavid, a little drop pass to Celebrini, and Dostal's out of position there, Duke. Didn't look very good on that goal. Look at that. Look where he's sliding out. So 1-0 Canada. 3 minutes and change into the game. You think people are going to be asking us not to talk about the game, Duke, and score and everything?
Well, Dallas on the text line doesn't care. He wants Canada to lose.
Yeah, he does.
All in the interest of the Oilers. Just so Connor
I get his
McDavid.
point. I get his point.
I don't.
Well, look.
I think it's selfish.
Well, Dallas is his text. Tell me the truth. I don't care if Canada loses, gives McDavid more time off. The Stanley Cup is the number one thing here. I get it. Gold medal, blah, blah, blah. Oiler fans, doesn't matter. It's a Stanley Cup. I'd rather have a Stanley Cup than a gold medal. Let me ask you that, Duke, then. But you're not an Oilers fan.
And also like beyond fandom. So riddle me this. Does Connor McDavid winning a gold medal eliminate his chances of winning a Stanley Cup as an Edmonton Oiler?
No.
Well,
of course.
So just because he wins a gold medal does not mean he cannot win a Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about as a Canadian, as a hockey fan, and then talking about like, these are humans too. This is a guy that's been waiting 10 years for his chance to play at the Olympics. He's the best player in the world. Yeah. I cheer for your NHL team, but I want you to lose while representing your country because I think it'll give you 2 extra days off. I think that's a joke.
I know where you're coming
I
from.
think that's a joke.
So, okay. So you're a fan of the Ducks. I want to bring in Fanny Fenwick, who's a Calgary Flames fan. Okay.
Yeah, but AHL teams have more players at the Olympics. The Iowa Wild have more players at the Olympics than the Calgary Flames do.
That's sad, man. But okay. If you could only have one choice, Josh, would you like to see, because I mean, when the Flames won the Stanley Cup, you weren't born yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm adding it up. It's 26 plus 11, right?
Yeah, I'm 21 years old.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting it. Okay. You can only have one thing. You can have one, and that's it. The Calgary Flames winning the Stanley Cup or Canada winning a gold medal. And again, we're changing the question a little bit because we saw Canada win gold a dozen years ago and then also back in Vancouver. So it's for another, I guess, a generation of fans moving forward, because again, we haven't had the best on best for a dozen years. So you can only have one. Calgary winning the Stanley Cup here. Call it. I don't even know if we could put a timeline on it, because that's how bad they are. But one or the other.
Like, for the rest of my life, I get to see them win one gold medal, or I get to see the Flames win a Stanley Cup.
Flames win the Stanley Cup.
Because if it's for the rest of my life, then I want to see the Flames win a Stanley Cup. But if you're saying for the next decade or whatever, I'd take a gold medal. And like, even if I was an Oilers fan, I don't think people should be afraid that, oh, Connor McDavid's going to be tired. In case you didn't know, he has 10 points. I think if he wins a gold medal, he'll be extra motivated to go and win the big one this year.
And to have the double dip.
And he'll have won.
The Czechs almost scored here to tie it up. Very close. I didn't see, it just came in on a late replay. Eddie Steele goes to the Duke. I hear you, Duke, until Connor takes a massive hit in the gold medal game like Leon took last week. And the Duke responds, Eddie, when did pro athletes become made of glass? Play the sport, injuries happen all the time. Contact and non-contact. The Duke ain't backing down from Eddie Steele. Why would you?
They're not out there playing scared. Why should we be scared watching them play?
Flamer 89 says Stanley Cup, no question. Although I'm 37, so I've seen and watched 3 gold medals. Northside Lou says Leon sure looked beat up and tired today. Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you that Leon's body language when it was 5-2 with 7 minutes left, we've seen that many times here where things aren't going right. And hey, listen, we're comparing apples to oranges, because the team that he has in Germany isn't that deep. And Leon, again, played over 28 minutes today, took a whole pile of face-offs. So this is a guy that played his heart out for his country. But the talent level just isn't there for them to be in the top 6 in the world. Eddie Steele comes back at the Duke. No, Eddie says, yeah, why did they stop playing the Pro Bowl then? What's he going? Where's he going with this?
Of all the directions Eddie could go to try and continue to spar with me here, like that's why they stop playing the Pro Bowl? Because the season's over. The season is over for all the guys in the Pro Bowl, and also there is absolutely nothing at stake. Nothing. They're playing for zero consequence. And is there like a little cash bonus if you win the Pro Bowl or win one of the skills comps or something?
I don't know.
But I mean, if you're a Pro Bowler, you're probably all right.
We should ask Eddie if they why they didn't have the CFL All-Star game.
Yeah, where was the CFL All-Star game?
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, they have it in Halifax every year.
Yeah.
In November.
So you know who leads the Olympics in goals, Duke?
Macklin Celebrini.
With 5. Unreal. His 7th point. That matches Evgeny Malkin from 2006 for the most points by a teenager in an Olympic in an Olympic tournament with NHL players. It's pretty good. 7 big ones. I didn't see who had that chance for the Czechs, Duke. Did you? But again, look how bad Dostal looks on this goal, Duke. Oh, terrible.
Kevin, the goaltending expert.
That's right, Duke.
Tell you what, if I was in Dostal's spot here, I would say, why is my best player turning the puck over, skating back towards me inside the defensive zone?
Pasta. Come on, Pasta. Terrible play. Not Fred says, although McDavid's play did drop when he came back from 4 Nations last year, it'll happen again for a week or two. A Knobloch with his player management will still play 29 and 97 over 20 minutes a game. Well, yeah, 20. What? I don't know where everyone with the ice time, they get all, they're snot and a nod here. I mean, that article Gregor put out, Duke, with all, matching every team And all like, what did he have? Every team, the top 12 in the West. Is that what
it was about teams in playoff contention, I believe, were because listen, the ice time balance on bottom feeder teams, it's more obviously spread out because they don't have clear cut top players most of the time. But yeah, like he had a couple caveats on it, like qualifiers, and the Oilers were right there with everyone else. Like it wasn't
it's not like the bottom.
It wasn't some stark contrast.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. And how many times have we said it on the show here, Duke? If you're playing 7 minutes a night, it's your job to make the coach play you 8 minutes a night and then 9 minutes a night.
Yeah.
That's your job in a bottom six role.
It is. But at the same time, I do think there is still an argument to be said that if you do make things happen with those minutes, or like you're not going to score a goal every game when you're playing 7 minutes. It's tough to do. But to go out there and be effective, and then the next game you still play 7 minutes again, and then again and again. I hear it. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case with what the Oilers are going through, because most of their bottom six hasn't done anything to earn more ice time. But to say that is the case, like it's binary, it's one way or the other, I don't think that's true, because I do think there are instances where coaches just refuse to play bottom six players more than 8 minutes a night regardless.
Kenneth says Gregor is wrong. He cherry-picked numbers that fit. Really? Well, you send some numbers out then, Ken. That was Kenneth. Sorry. And the Czechs have tied it up, Duke. 6-3 the shots for the Czechs, too. Who do we got, Duke? Sedlak? I don't know. He's on the top line. Sedlak was playing with Pasta earlier in the game, so we'll be keeping an eye on this one. Ken texts in and says, Jonathan Taves won an Olympic gold and his first Stanley Cup in 2010. Radko Dudas with a beautiful play. Nice pass that started the play, and Sedlak finishes. Gudas to Chervenka. Oh, how about that, eh? Kale Makar right in front of Chervenka and Sedlak. Terrible player, though, hey, Duke?
Caught watching a little bit there.
What, is that reminiscent of someone? Does
yeah.
That make you...
No, one bad play. Yeah. Bench him. He's a bad player. Play him on forward. Try that instead.
It's not about physical exhaustion. It is mental exhaustion that McDavid will feel due to the intensity of the Olympics. Yes. That's the truth. But he's going to be physically tired too. You're looking at a lot of travel. It's going to be both, not Fred, but there is a mental letdown, a mental part of your game that happens. That's a natural thing that happens. So it's 1-1 with 11:17 left. Top of the hour, we got David Schlemko coming in, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Live right now from Italy, Team Canada men's hockey team taking on Czechia in the quarterfinal, currently tied at 1 in the first period. Macklin Celebrini, the goal scorer for Canada. Earlier on today, Antoine Cyr and Xavier McKeever finished 6th in men's cross-country team sprint freestyle. On the women's side, Edmonton's own Allison Mackey and her partner Lillian Gagnon also finishing in 6th. The men's snowboard slopestyle final, Mark McMorris finished in 8th and Cameron Spalding in 10th. In the women's aerials, Marianne Thoreau advanced out of qualifying but failed to get into the medal run. After guaranteeing a spot in a semifinal yesterday, Brad Jacobs' men's curling team beat Italy 8-3 earlier on this morning. Women's slopestyle final, we had a couple ladies in participation there, and still to come today, Rachel Holman and her women's curling club try to keep their playoff hopes alive against Italy starting at 11. And in short track speed skating, the men's 500-meter quarterfinal starting at 12:15. 3 Canucks in the field, and the women's 3,000-meter relay team will skate for a medal just before 1 o'clock. Elsewhere, men's hockey quarterfinals across the rest of the field. Slovakia defeated Germany 6-2 earlier, and coming up, Switzerland playing Finland just after 10. United States taking on Sweden at 1:10. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation, as well as our Wednesday co-host, former NHLer David Schlemko. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Get down to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's VIP Spring Blowout Sale this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. New motorcycles are selling for as low as $12,900. And ask us about the 1-year extended warranty on new and used bikes. Bring your buddies, because when they buy a new Harley, you get a $500 referral credit. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
As players get ready to represent Canada, the regular hockey season takes a break. But don't forget about your winter breaks, BRAKES. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find gold medal level stopping power and all your other world-class automotive parts and needs, like podium-worthy Napa Gold filters. Napa Auto Parts is here to support your commute, your drive to the rink, and eventually your own gold medal moment. With close to 600 locations throughout the country and over 85 in Alberta, stop into your local Napa store today. Let's go, Canada! That's Napa know-how.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:02 in Edmonton, Canada, and the Czechs still tied at 1 with 7:20 left in the first period. The Czechs have outshot Canada 8-7. The Canadians just had a power play, a couple of looks, and then after the power play just ended, the Czechs had an opportunity, but Jordan Binnington made a pretty decent save. Time to welcome in our Wednesday co-host, David Schlemko. Powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. CougarCollision.com. Good morning, Schlemmer.
Morning, KK.
And we've been missing
It's
here, hit and miss between the two of us.
Been a while, man.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die last week, honestly.
What the heck?
It
The
was
kids again or what?
I like just the worst flu going through our house for like legit the last month.
Wow.
So I think I was the last one to get it.
Yeah.
And
So the kids had it.
I think I understand how people end up in the hospital now with the flu.
Well,
Like I bedridden for
sure.
days.
The older generation, they're sure it is, Duke. That's the way it is. The older generation, their body just doesn't have the immune system, can't fight it as well as a young buck like yourself.
Yeah, you could see it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in
What are
pretty
you
good
laughing at,
health,
Duke,
but
for that.
I thought you were calling Schlemmer the older generation.
no.
Yeah, Schlemmer old timers like you, they can't quite bounce back like they used to.
Getting up there.
Yeah.
39 this year.
The old raisin, but yeah. And so you watched Olympics, and
I hardly missed a minute of the Olympics last week. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's nice they've been on.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and again, in the morning you can as early as you want to get up.
As early as you want.
Yeah,
Exactly.
which is kind of cool for me on the weekends and even during the week. I was a Germany game going this morning, and
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You're up at 4?
No, that's not that. Whoa. But yeah, no, I caught a little bit of it before I came into work. So
Just a nice clean 28-10 for Leon, hey?
well, and he took 32 draws. Like, I was just saying to, the listeners early, if people think, it's a face-off's a face-off. But there's some torque and tension on your hands, your arms, your shoulders.
You got to bear
back.
down when you get in there. Yeah. Getting into that full squat.
Exactly. So they're not, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's like you're not engaged with a player, but
You're burning more energy than you
Sure.
are standing on the hash
well,
as a winger.
and someone sent in a text, well, how many times did he get thrown out of the faceoff circle? And I asked Duke, and I said, did you pay attention to that over the course of the I guess it would be 5 games that Germany played? And I never really did. So did you see a Germany game where
I haven't noticed it as much. I haven't watched like a full German game. I got to admit, I watched a bit of the U.S., but it was really annoying to me just watching Matthew be a retard out there.
Isn't it something, eh?
A 5-1 game, like
it just you just want to see that guy not succeed.
right?
That's how you want to.
You love him or you hate him, right? We hate him.
I mean, you think about again yapping and chirping and everything. You just you're almost hoping for another Oilers Panthers final.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean the Kachucks, they are good, right? But I think the biggest difference for me is Brady can let his game do all the talking, where Matthew's got to bring in some of the other ratty stuff to
fair.
be effective.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about the amount of points that Matthew has compared to the other guys like Connor and Leon. It's not even remotely close.
I mean, in a best on best like this, I think Matthew's game isn't quite enough to speak for itself and stand out, right? So he's going to do that other stuff, and he's really good at it.
Mm-hmm. So 1-1 Canada and the Czechs. The Czechs are on a power play right now with 5:45 left in the first period. So,
What do you think so far? Have you been watching?
Well, listen, I've been talking about the Czechs on the show, and people have been giving me the gears. They've been saying I'm anti-Canada. I'm anti the.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like in a one gamer here, and I said when you got and Pasta stunk on the first goal, you were driving, right?
Yeah. I didn't see our goal.
Like the goal that Macklin Celebrini scored, Pasternak was horror awful on the goal.
Okay.
But he's been the first guy that said, I got to be better. I got a lot more to give here.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy that's a one-shot scorer like that has the ability to, turn a game around with just, one flick of the puck.
Any single elimination game is dangerous, especially when you got a team as good as this Canadian team is, right?
Well,
Like
sure,
you're gonna get everyone's
pressure's on.
best.
Like now, someone just rang one off the post here. That's Cervenka, on the power play. So that goes in. Now it's 2-1. I think it was either the post or the crossbar. Went out of play. So, now you start. You know how it is, Schlemmer.
It's hard to beat a team 5-0 and spank them 2 games in a row, too, right?
Well,
Like
exactly.
they're gonna make some adjustments.
Might not have went off the post. The rebound I think it might, or not a rebound. It was just high over the net. But Like there's pasta. Right,
Oh, there it is. 2-1.
There you go. So now it's 2-1 on a power play goal. And now what happens? So now Canada presses. Now, okay, as a former player, Schlemmer, talk about the composure that you need. This is the first time you trailed.
I'd call a timeout here.
Would you?
Yeah.
How come?
Just to take a breath here, take a minute, maybe realize there's a lot
Don't
more.
you think you go, I think I might need it later?
Possibly. I think Canada gets to its game here, and it's not even going to be close, right? But you want to make sure you don't want to go down by 2 here in the first period.
I get it.
Let's take a breath.
I don't, like I said, Pasternak, 1-shot score, bang. This thing is off his stick.
Why do you say that?
Why did I? Well, because I look at what the Czechs are.
Yeah.
They don't have the team that Canada has.
Yeah.
But Pasternak's just as good as anyone. Like, is he just as good as Nathan McKinnon in that spot?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So, and again, now Dostal, if he stands on his head, and those are the 3 elements that I said. You can forecheck the snot out of their defense because they're not that good. They got Gudis, they got Hronek.
Well, the thing is now you got them believing that they can do it.
That's the whole thing.
Now you got them believing they can do it right now. So it's going to be a battle.
Well, that's what I said in Schlemmer. If you do you remember the round robin game, and that was 6 seconds left in the first period, and that's the first goal that Canada scored, the Macklin Celebrini tip.
Yeah,
remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say that doesn't go in, or Celebrini misses it, or whatever. Now you get out of the first period and it's still scoreless.
Yeah.
And now the Czechs are thinking, okay, no one's expecting us to win.
Right.
Just like the World Juniors.
Yeah.
No one expects the Czechs to beat Canada. But what's happened?
1 game elimination can be dangerous.
Oh, there are going to be people going bananas today here. Text 833-401-1440. HVAC Nick says there's no guarantee Canada even comes out of this game with a win. Wouldn't that be wild? Well,
of course there isn't. That's the nature of the beast.
If you were to rank the teams going in, Schlemmer, how would you have them ranked? Like before
the tournament even started? Yeah. I would have had Canada 1, US 2, Sweden 3, probably Finland 4.
4.
Yeah.
And then would you have the Czechs 5?
Yeah.
And then Slovakia.
But I think the Swiss are right there after Slovakia. I thought they were way better than the Czechs when Canada played them anyway.
And Slovakia, I don't know how much you watched of that German game today, but
I didn't see any of it. I've seen a couple of the Slovak games, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're a fun team to watch.
Well, they are. And again, they
play hard. They're aggressive.
They totally play hard, and they win 6-2. So this is the first, I think, in a best on best, their best finish was 4th. So they've got an opportunity here. They're going to play for a medal.
Yeah.
No matter what, because they are going to be,
in the
semis. And then if they lose, then they play for the bronze. But,
it's exciting. That Slavkovsky's been good, man.
Yeah. And he didn't even do much today.
No.
He actually had an off game.
Okay.
He had 0 points in a 6-2 win.
Really?
They had some guys that never really heard of from Slovakia. That Regner had 2 goals. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were talking about the Oilers, so they return here. And how would you handle, like, let's just say, the Canada gets to the finals here, which everyone expects. How do you handle when Connor comes back, like next week?
I think you really got to manage it.
Yeah. So they play Wednesday, Thursday in LA, Anaheim, LA, and then they play Saturday afternoon in San Jose.
Yeah, that's right back into it. That's that condensed schedule. I mean, I think you got to manage it in practice. He's not going to miss any games.
Mm-hmm.
Connor McDavid. He's not going to be like, I'll sit out. But I think just maintenance days and really, really managing that work to rest ratio.
Yeah. Would you manage even like ice time? Like, would you have them, like, let's just say.
I think that's way easier said than done once you get into a game.
Well, and here's the thing. These guys, just all these 3 games that the Oilers are playing when they come back, every one of them is like right on the Oilers' heels here.
All right.
So
big 4-point games.
But I'm just thinking, like, maybe it's the back-to-back, and you go, okay, well, probably pull them back a little bit there on your time on ice.
TOI. Yeah. Ideally, you'd like to, but then you're down a goal in the 3rd period. It's pretty hard not to throw them out there every other shift.
Exactly. Going back to the candidates, so it's 2-1, under 4 minutes left here, first period for the Czechs, 2-1, Czech leading. When the defense was named to the Team Canada roster, the one name for me was Drew Doughty. But, and I haven't really watched him this game as like analyzing, but he's been okay.
I think he's been way better than he was last year at the Four Nations.
Okay, yeah. Would you say that?
Healthy. His feet look better.
Yeah.
I thought he looked slow last year.
Okay. I just saw it too because he's on the ice right now. I think he's out there.
Also, I think Thomas Harley's been unbelievable.
Yeah. Harley and Doughty have been a pair for the most part. And you know what? When Morrissey went down and Morrissey's not playing today,
yeah.
Theodore came in, almost seamless there too. See, I got to see this. This is a high sticking penalty on Tom Wilson.
Oh, Willie.
And we're just awaiting the replay. But again,
can't give up another one here.
Oh, it's a penalty.
Oh, yeah, that's a penalty.
He's just trying to lift the stick of
it's the stick
player,
lift.
And it gets up into the facial area.
There's a huge kill here. Gotta get out of this period down just one.
Imagine Canada has the firepower to get back in any game, but you don't want to be tempting this.
You get down 2 and they're going to be playing 1-4, stacking 4 across the blue line. It's going to get a lot tougher if they get down by a couple here.
Mm-hmm. Coming up right after the break, we've got Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. Also in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll go in or out with David Schlemko. We've got Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com, and he will slide in the 10 o'clock hour as well. And again, the Czechs on a power play leading 2-1 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. And as Schlemmer just said, this is a massive penalty kill for Team Canada. Have you noticed anything as far as the PK? They have...
They haven't had too many.
Yeah.
I like how aggressive they are down low. I don't know. It's been pretty solid so far. I thought looked like the goal they gave up was just Binnington got beat on the one-timer.
Oh, it's a world-class shot, right?
Yeah.
And again, so that's where they leave Pasternak over there, and he just slides into that slot right now. But they also got Natchez.
Like to see someone just cheat that lane a little bit, right?
2 guys higher or wider? Both?
Just have that right D just cheating out on the one-timer, just like guys do on Ovechkin.
Right. The last one came from a little higher up here. So that would be...
But what else do they have on that power play?
That's the whole thing, right? That's what you're setting up. So that's what you're setting up for an opportunity. Duke's got a new phone. It goes off every 5 seconds here. You can't even figure it out with all this chiming and all that stuff.
As if it's the first time it's like gone
the
off.
second time today, Duke. Wasn't it not?
No.
Well, what else went off earlier?
I don't know. You're hearing things in your head, Kev. Talk about advanced ages. Well, you're the poster boy for it right across from me on this desk.
When we come back, Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. It's the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Sometimes you think about what you're going to do in the day. Go to work, pick up the kids from school, make supper. But at GS Construction, we think a little differently. Winter is our season to think, to plan, and to improve. We study, we innovate, we train. So when the thaw comes, we're ready to dig, build, and deliver even better, which means we need people like you. If you're thinking about joining the team at GS Construction, now's the time to do it. To apply and to see how we think, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Are you looking for safe and professional transportation solutions for your group events and sports teams? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Greger, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
to Sports 1440.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com. McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
Welcome back to the big program. 9:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you here on Sports 1440. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we can meet all your car needs and even more. That's because we've got the digital vehicle report. We just don't tell you what your car needs. We show you. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com as we welcome in Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation to the show. Morning, Liam. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer, David Schlemko. As always, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning, big fella. Really appreciate it.
I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, this lined up pretty well with the intermission.
I know, just perfect. Perfect timing. What'd you think of the first period, Liam?
I thought Canada didn't really deal well with the physicality of the Czechs, and then obviously the power play became a difference in the game, which is kind of funny. It didn't fall in the favor of Canada. Typically, you would think that the way that power play has been going, but I'm not really too worried. I feel like that first game against the Czechs too, it was the first period where the Czechs looked their best, and then Celebrini obviously got that goal and it broke them a little bit. So I expect things to change in favor of Canada here the remainder of the way.
What do you expect John Cooper's message to be to the fellas this intermission?
Well, I think they've got to protect the puck a little bit better. Obviously, that unforced error from Mark Stone. Probably don't need to make that kind of pass in that situation. Try and get through so many sticks. So I would think just be a bit more sensible with the puck, and also to like attack with a bit more speed together. I think there's certain individual players that are able to get up the ice obviously quite quickly, but I don't think they're playing as a unit right now. And then obviously too, like try and stay a little bit more disciplined. But Celebrini one was a bit of a 50-50 call. I can see okay, that can get called, but obviously the Wilson one a high stick. So yeah, I think they just need to kind of come together a bit more of a unit here.
So sorry, I didn't catch much of the first period. I was kind of driving in. So if they're not coming through the neutral zone with much speed together, are the Czechs sitting back? Are they doing a good job of kind of jumbling up the neutral zone, or what are they doing out there?
I think they're right on top of them, to be honest. And then when they are able to get into the offensive zone, like Gudas is having a pretty good period. He's playing quite physically. And I mean, when Radko Gudas is able to dictate a game the way he is, it's probably not going to go in your favor. So yeah, I just don't think they're moving the puck, to be honest. I think it's more of like individual efforts. So it's fine, obviously, occasionally, but every single rush can't just be the fastest guy trying to get up the ice.
Liam Hurlbin with us on Sports 1440. At the end of the period, Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon played a shift together. Do you think that they will start the second period together?
I would start them together in the second period. I think, like I said, the offense just hasn't been flowing for them. And Tom Wilson, I think, has been fine throughout this tournament with McDavid and Celebrini. But, I mean, when you have the option of going Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon, and you're down in an elimination game, like it's probably no time to waste. I would get on top of it right away. And I don't think McKinnon had a very good first period either. So I think this could be good for him to get him going, because it seemed like McDavid and Celebrini were the only two forwards who were fully engaged.
Yeah, I agree with that. Go with that nuclear option. Put those two guys together for 2 periods. You need a goal. I think they get at least one over the next 2 periods. What do you thought about Benner so far on both the goals? He's okay, or you think he wants either of those back?
Well, the first one, I guess it is short side, but it's Pasternak, right? And the puck's kind of rolling. I thought it was a bit one of those goals that you look back and you're like, okay, I'm not too upset with that one. And then, the first one, just again, it comes from the turnover, and you allow a guy to get to the back door for an easy tap in. I think whenever the goalie comes into the conversation for Canada, it's never going to be a good thing. Obviously, when it's in this way, this team's too good to be down in games against Czechia. When you get guys like Zedlak who are scoring goals, like, no disrespect, but you should probably be able to defend that guy a little bit better. So yeah, I think Binnington has been what I expected him to be throughout the entire tournament. There's a couple of goals you want back, but I think overall, if the conversation's getting to him, then we've got bigger problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Schlemmer's going to have a look at this first goal on replay at some point here in the intermission. And I just think it's a case of the first goal, because we're just watching the second one here. The first goal, I don't think they boxed out well enough. That's Makar.
Okay.
Right in front. And that's how, by looking at the play for me, that's how you would say what happened on the first goal, Schlemmer.
Just saw that second one again. That was a rocket.
Wow. This is a guy. And two, Liam, I mean, Pasternak looked like he was awful on the game's first goal by Celebrini. Turned the puck over inside the blue line for the Czechs, but he said he's got to be better. And that was an absolute hummer. He's a one-shot scorer. He's as good as anyone from that position. So that's a concern for me. If they get another power play opportunity, they had one more, but they didn't execute anything over there. Just maybe your thoughts on Pasternak saying the fact that he needed to be better, and he turned his game around after that goal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Czechs don't have a deep lineup, but there's a couple of guys you got to look out for. I don't think Pasternak has been at his best throughout this entire event, but like you said, like you can't just leave that guy open to rip some pucks at Jordan Binnington. I think odds are he'll probably get a couple if you're just going to allow that to happen. I think didn't they even hit the post on the second power play too? So they've had their chances. Like that top unit can be lethal, and that's the thing with these nations, right? Like you don't. you just need your big guys to show up and hope everyone else can kind of neutralize things a little bit. And so far, that's what the Czechs have been able to do. And they were able to get a bit of a depth goal, I guess, and the Sedlak one with the first one. But they've got guys who can change it. Like even Martin Necas has been great throughout this entire tournament. He had the joke as well, didn't he? He's like, we knew we couldn't beat Canada twice, so we didn't beat them the first time. So, hey, if they maybe his jokes and we prove him right if Canada doesn't turn things around here.
So looking at Team Canada as a whole, maybe throughout the whole tournament, and let's take Macklin Celebrini off the table because everyone knows he's been great. But has anyone else surprised you that maybe people haven't expected to be as good as they've been?
No real surprises. I would say I like Bo Horvat. I think he's just filled in his role, right? For a guy who goes from playing top minutes with the Islanders to playing, what has it been, 8 to 10 minutes and still finding ways to be effective. I think that's been really, really good for Canada. And I didn't really think about it to start the tournament, to be honest, but there's obviously the question mark was like, who should be on the team? Like there always is with these countries like Canada. But like, I just think you look at a guy like Bedard, for example, who was in the conversation to be like, should he be in over Horvat? It's like, well, Bedard probably can't be as effective in 10 minutes as what Bo Horvat could be because Bedard needs to touch the puck way more. So I do like how Horvat's just been able to kind of slide into a role there and play it well. I actually don't mind Travis Sanheim. I know he's someone who was questioned to be on the team initially and even way back in the Four Nations, but it's a guy who eats a ton of minutes for the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think he's just a fairly reliable player, skates pretty well, and just plays simple-ish hockey. I think he's been a pretty good surprise, I would say.
Connor Bedard's a guy I've been thinking about a lot over this tournament, watching it. Like how hard it's got to be for him to watch how much success Celebrini's had.
Yeah. Well, we were Tyler asked me the question the other day, and he said, "How many MVPs do you think Connor Bedard will win in his career?" And I said 0, and I didn't mean it in a disrespect to Bedard, but in the sense of like, I think Celebrini is just better than him and might just be in the way, and there's just too many guys in the way for Bedard. And Celebrini, I really do wonder if he had played in Canada instead of going to the NCAA, if he would have been a way more hyped prospect than he was, because he almost seems like a surprise to us how great of a player he's become. And I think it's just because we didn't see him play junior hockey, where Bedard obviously played in Regina and McDavid area and all these other guys. So I think Celebrini, is great to see how much success he's having at this tournament, because I think he's just that good and deserves to be showcased.
I think Bedard has it in him here, though. He's got the makeup of a player that is going to be so pissed off about this.
Oh yeah, me too.
That he is going to take it to another level.
Shoulder.
And he's going to be taking this to another level for sure. So Liam Hrobin with us on Sports 1440. Hey, Liam, did you get a chance to watch any of the Germany game earlier today?
No, I haven't. I didn't see it. They lost, right? 5-2 or something like that.
6-2, yeah, to Slovakia. Leon played like 28 and change, took 32 faceoffs, just had 1 assist. He was -1. Szymanski was -3 on the game. So I mean, Germany they're coming in here ranked 6, 7, somewhere in there, 8. Somewhere in there, but they just didn't have enough horses. But I mean, they really went to the whip with Leon and played him a ton.
What'd you think of Szymanski? Have you seen much of Germany, Liam?
I only watched the one game. I've been doing my best to separate myself from hockey for a little bit here. I've watched Canada, but I was in Jasper over the weekend. But from what I saw of Szymanski, he seemed like he was fitting in. I think it's good that he's pushed the conversation a little bit more. Should he be in the NHL permanently? So I think it's good. I think it's a credit to Bowman as well to go and finding that guy, because I was talking to Stephen Ellis, and he was saying, it's like, when that guy was in the OHL, like, you would have never thought he was going to be an NHL player. Now the fact that he has games under his belt and he looks like he belongs when he's in the league, I think is quite impressive for him, and obviously the coaching staff in Bakersfield to get him to this point too. So yeah, I think from what I did see of Szymanski, it was a good tournament. And for the Germans too, like, they're obviously an upcoming hockey country, and I think they probably have a couple of guys coming through too. So maybe at the next Olympics, we could see them go maybe even to the next stage and kind of take over to another level.
Liam Hrobin with us on Sports 1440. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you here on a Wednesday morning. Again, Canada and the Czechs in the first period intermission. Czechs lead it by a score of 2-1. Oilers back yesterday with an optional. It's going to be a full skate today, Liam, as they get ready to have to ramp things up, I guess, here in the next 4 or 5 days before they leave, and 3 games in 4 days and nights in California. How busy do you think that management's going to be here? I know, everyone knows that, yesterday that Matt Savoy was sent down for salary cap reasons, but do you think things are going to ramp up here immediately once this roster freeze checks off?
Well, I would think just based off the circumstance of the deadline being basically a week away, right? Or whatever, just over, whatever it is. So I think the others will try and be busy. I just don't know how busy they can actually be. I do think they probably need another defenseman. I'm not sure that third pairing is something I would take into the playoffs with much confidence. So I'd look for a bit of an upgrade there. And then I think these couple of games coming out of the break, because the Saturday, I think, is the San Jose game or whatever it is. Like, I think these next 2 games coming out, they need to figure out if they can spread things out a little bit with Nugent Hopkins maybe down the lineup and find an answer for themselves there. But yeah, I'm sure they've been heavily evaluating the team because, quite frankly, coming into this break, it was horrible. They've been a terrible team. So I hope they can turn that around. I'd like to actually enjoy watching Oilers hockey again for a couple of weeks here.
It's a dozen days. So once the Olympic break ends, and then you've got a dozen days till March 6th when the deadline happens.
First practice back today.
Yesterday was an optional.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everyone was there. And
they're going to be earning their paychecks today.
Going hard.
It'll be a long skate.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Really? I think that they said they were going to kind of wrap things up as the week progresses.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to leave.
You're still going to feel horrible after sitting on a beach for a week drinking.
Like you were in Jasper, Liam.
Yeah, I wish it was a beach in Jasper. I was just at the top of a cold, breezy mountain instead. It wasn't quite the same, but still probably just as fun. I got burnt either way, so.
Oh, yeah. So did you ski a lot or something, or what'd you do?
Yeah, we went up just over the long weekend, so skied Saturday, Sunday. Sunday was definitely more of an easier day, you could say. But we were up there, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The first day was actually quite warm. It was only like -4. And then the next day, it was a lot closer. It's like -10, very cloudy, quite breezy. So the clubhouse got a few extra minutes, you could say.
Yeah. Chalet.
Yeah, chalet. Sorry, clubhouse is summertime.
Yeah, pretty busy on Oilers Nation. What's just coming up here in the next little bit here for you?
Yeah, we actually had John Morris on the show yesterday. If anyone wants to go back and listen to that, talked about the curling controversy, which has been just ridiculous. But we talked about that quite a bit. Today we just have Matt Larkin from Daily Faceoff talking a little bit about trade deadline stuff and what's been going on over in Milan. So a bit of an easier show today, but we'll be going at it. And also too, I don't know if this is today or tomorrow, but we're gonna do like, would Canada beat a European team? Like a European all-star team, would the Canadian players beat them? So we'll debate that too.
Let's just worry about the Czechs. Huh?
Bro, if they lose, we probably won't do it.
Yeah. That's something I'd like to watch, though.
Yeah, we'll see. It's interesting because obviously Canada looked great going into it, but then you mix all these European players in. I think they might have us beaten the goaltending. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, and then just to even remember when they had World Cup back in 2016 or whatever it was with Team North America, the Young Guns, right?
That was awesome.
That was cool to watch. And those guys were right there, man.
They were good.
Right there. Hey, puck drops coming up right now here, Liam. So we'll cut you free, cut you loose to watch the second period. As always, thanks for coming on. We'll talk soon.
You bet. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Liam Hrobin from Oilers Nation and the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. Check them out at fountaintire.com and book your appointment today. Second period just underway. And again, 2-1. The Czechs are leading. Coming up right after the break, we'll probably go in or out with David Schlemko. We've got Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. It's Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Whether you need bodywork, paint touch-ups, or anything in between, the family at Cougar Paint and Collision takes every customer issue to heart.
We've had a lot of really good customers over the years. One guy, he would bring in everything and he would just expect us to be able to kind of fix it. It didn't matter what it was. And one time he brought in his washing machine.
The only thing that was wrong with it was the drum was rusted out or something.
Yeah, he wasn't going to replace it.
Yeah, we had to weld it up. Anyways, he was a nice old guy. Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you, Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than 50 grand. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
1 in 3 adults don't get enough sleep. The Break is here to help with deals on your entire bedroom. Save up to 50% off clearance mattresses, 50% off beds when you buy any 3 matching pieces. Buy one, get one half price on ceiling memory foam pillows, and save $100 off any adjustable power base when you buy a mattress over $9.99. Plus, check out other incredible savings in every department. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Ed Mall, North Side, and downtown.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 941 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko. Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenrick with you here on a Wednesday morning. Tiger just texted in, hey boys, between periods, the panel was talking about how the Czechs are trying to get Wilson off his game. They are chirping him. Ooh, scary. This happens every game, big guy. You're not going to get him off his game by chirping Tom Wilson.
No, I'd probably be worrying about a couple other guys before Tom Wilson.
Yeah. So, and again, Wilson took the high sticking penalty. It was an accident, but still,
that's not a retaliatory penalty.
No, that's just, you got, it's a penalty in the sense that you got to watch your own stick, and you got to be, So, but having said that, I mean, the way it happened, it was pretty quick and just clipped the guy. And they didn't score on that power play anyway. So,
no.
Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck.
On our televisions right now, Canada playing Czechia, quarterfinal action from the Olympic men's hockey tournament. Czechs currently leading 2-1 here in the early going of period number 2. So far in this game, the fastest game we've seen so far at this Olympic tournament.
I mean, Bennington just had to make a pretty big save here, too. Yeah, I'm probably going to go in. I mean, the games, and everyone's watching the Canada games more so, I think, than the other games for sure. And so, like, who Canada played to start, that Czech game was, you're just getting your feet wet. Then you got Swiss and France. I mean, so this is, the bullets are flying today. So I'd say it's the fastest. I don't know to compare, like just watching the Germany-Slovak game. It's way faster than that this morning.
Yeah.
So
I don't feel like I watched enough to have like an accurate opinion on the first period. I will say I like the way Canada plays, their style of game way better than it was at the Four Nations last year. I thought it was a little more straight ahead, direct, kind of heavy. I like the way the lines are on this team. I like the way they're playing with speed, making plays for the most part.
Crosby just got buried.
Did he?
Yeah. And he got hit again.
I'm looking at this U.S.-Sweden game this afternoon, and I think that will really set the mark for pace.
Sorry to interrupt, Schlemmer. Crosby really went off gingerly here, and he is in some duress.
Is that from that Palat interference?
No. Well, he got hit just inside the blue line, and the camera zipped away quickly. You could only see the tail end of the hit, and then he got hit by two guys. But by the time he got back into the play, Schlemmer, he was not moving very quickly, and then he got hit again. So he is hunched over along the bench.
In some pain. Right. Another good save by Bennington there on Hurdle. Another good chance for the Czechs.
And I'm going to the first hit, it could be Gudis. Here it is right here. So see how he gets bent back?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he got like the double team here, and then he just sort of goes off.
Yeah, something hurts.
That's a right knee, I think.
Dr. Karius on the case.
You better believe it, dude. You better believe it.
Screen. Yeah, obviously, Schlemmer, I think it is kind of tough to gauge when comparing to every other game, but if we're almost playing it logistically, right? Like, we think Canada is right up there for the fastest team at this tournament. Yep. The Czechs, we a lot of had pegged as a medal contender. That they brought their A game here so far in the early going, and just the pace that this period's been played of what I've seen, certainly, which have featured more of the favored teams. I wasn't watching some of the or all of the France, Italy, Latvia games, admittedly. So I've liked what I've seen so far, even if at this point it's not necessarily in Canada's favor on the scoreboard. But Schlemmer, you alluded to what I think is pegged as the premier quarterfinal matchup going to be later on this afternoon between the United States and Sweden. States are favored in the game, but the Swedes look like they're maybe starting to round into form a little bit here, coming off of their qualifying win yesterday. Besides the goaltending, which has at points in this tournament been a bit of an Achilles heel for the Swedish team, I think Joel Eriksson Ek will be the Swedes' X factor in getting into the semifinals.
So he's playing against Eichel, you figure?
I think so.
Doesn't the U.S. have last change, though?
I think that they're the higher seed, so I assume that would come with being the home team for sure. That Eichel, Tkachuk, and Tkachuk line has been, I think, pretty obviously the state's best.
Yeah.
And Eriksson Ek, considered one of the best shutdown defensive centers in the league. He's asked to do a little bit more on this Swedish team because he does have to try and chip in some offense as well. But I think if he can keep them limited, that one line, it'll just be up to, obviously, the remaining group to try and outscore their opponents.
What do you think, Schlemmer?
I think that's a great point. I think he's a great defensive centerman, but I do kind of think with last change being with the U.S., it'll be hard for them to get that matchup every time. I think the X factor if Sweden wins is going to be Willie Nylander.
Ooh, I had him on my radar.
He was on my list of names here for sure.
He's kind of got that finish to be the X factor in a big moment.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't go on the back end here, Schlemmer. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Rasmus Dahlin.
I like it.
He's been
very good.
He's been real
could
good.
be the best defenseman in the tournament.
I think he's probably the clubhouse leader at this point.
So I'm going to go Rasmus Dahlin.
I like it.
And, you know, you think about everything he's gone through this year,
Yeah.
you know, with his fiance and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fighting for her life.
Playing for the Sabres.
Wow.
That too.
Especially for those first couple months of the year where they were the laughing stock again.
That's
at the
my
league.
guy, Duke. Rasmus.
It's a
Dahlin.
great choice, Kevin. And I was kind of looking down the roster and I was thinking about the Swedish team. And obviously they had a couple injuries of players that wouldn't come in. And they've been maybe one of the disappointments a little bit throughout this tournament because I think they were ranked as the third best team coming in and having to play a qualifier game just to get into the quarterfinals. How different do you think this team would look if a guy like Leo Carlsson was here playing? Because he's obviously very young, not particularly experienced, but that hasn't seemed to slow down a guy like Macklin Celebrini. I'm not saying he's at that level, but like dynamic wise, he could, like, I think an addition like him would have the Swedish team at a different level competitively.
You know, you think about it on their third line right now, and where would he slide in here, Duke? I'm just looking. Okay, so Landeskog, Zibanejad, and Raymond are their second line. Pettersson, Forsberg, and Raquel are their third line.
Well, I mean, like Elias Pettersson's averaging 11 minutes a game in
Yeah,
this
I was
tournament.
Say,
So Carlson would go to 3-key?
I think he would get a chance to play in either
Or
the second
2C?
or third center spot. Yeah.
Poor Pettersson.
He would have helped. That's for sure.
Yeah, but hey, Swedes not over yet. See how they can fare against the Americans. Number 3, Oilers back on the ice yesterday. Leon Draisaitl, after this morning's Germany loss, will be free to join them, I'm sure, at his leisure before they resume their schedule next week in California. I don't think we're going to see any form of load management for Leon Draisaitl upon the team's return to NHL action.
Yeah, probably I'm going to be in because it's a week off, technically. You just got to get him here and get him to the West Coast. Speck was saying, you know, go find somewhere in LA at Malibu Beach or whatever to hang out for a few days. You might as well fly directly there.
Great call.
You know, I don't see that being a problem at all. And I mean,
do you mean load management? Do you mean practices and games or just games?
I think
I don't think there'll be much of either. Like compared to normal, right? When we're talking about veteran guys and optional skates and stuff, is Leon a player that often will option the option, right? I mean, like he plays so much as an Oiler, let alone coming back from the Olympics. And I know we just had a little bit of a discussion about McDavid and his return. I think that will be a different story depending on how far or how many more games Canada has to play. But at this point, full week off to get back to North America, climatized time zone wise, obviously, and then hopefully a few days to rest up and not do much of anything. I see Leon just getting back in the swing of things full bore.
I think personally that it just depends on how Leon's feeling and what he wants to do. I think they'll talk to him, be like, you know, where are you at? What do you need?
I just think
whatever you need, that's what you get.
But I hope guys like everyone else here goes, you know what? We got this for a couple games. You know what I'm saying? Like Nuge,
right?
Hyman, everyone else, all the guys that have been below average, go and say, you know what? We got you here for a few games.
Let's grab onto this thing.
Yes,
carry the boys.
We're going to carry the mail.
Yeah.
Sid Crosby went to the room there before the break too.
Not good. Especially not good for my Sidney Crosby anytime goal scorer.
And his right leg. Again, that's what it was. Right leg.
Yeah, pretty gingerly heading back to the locker room.
Twisted up on that Gudis hit for sure.
On to number 4, MLB spring training in full flight. The Blue Jays having some fun down in FLA. George Springer, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. playing pranks on each other. If you're following along on social media, I think a trip to Florida or Arizona, take your choice, for a grapefruit or cactus league action to watch some spring ball, enjoy the weather, probably get some golf in the mix. I think something like this, in terms of a boys trip, I think that's right up there, rivals any other format of a little week and a half to week long getaway with the fellas.
Did you go to any Cactus League games in Arizona? Then?
Tons, man, tons.
So the Cubs are right around there.
They're all over the valley. They're all over the valley. I'm 100% in on this one. And I was going to say, you already mentioned it. It can be a golf / baseball trip. But It's awesome. The best part is like tickets are reasonable. They're pretty cheap. So it's great.
You just because like you're obviously going to watch at these minor league parks and even like just facilities. Sometimes they're not even real parks, and like you're sitting in the bleachers, sometimes just on the hillside out on the grass. So tickets are cheap. Have a few pops, enjoy the game, catch up on get to know all the no names of baseball before the season starts. Make yourself look like a real expert when you get back to North Dakota. Bro, Kevin, I mean, come on.
Actually, Duke had a nice chat with a couple. They were like a little older in the pool in Cabo, and they had another week somewhere, I think, down there, and then they were going straight to Dunedin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're so going right to Dunedin for spring training. She said they'll probably get 6-7 games in. Were there last year. Oh man, this is going to be a next year thing. Next year thing.
You're doing it?
Oh yeah.
Kevin's holiday's already being planned a full year in advance.
It is fun, man. I used to go to so many. The D-backs they built like a pretty nice new kind of, like smaller, obviously, for spring training, but it felt like a real kind of stadium with like talking stick there.
Yeah.
And so, Schlemmer, you've been obviously. Is the operations wise, like in these, albeit smaller stadiums, like still at full scale for these games, like in terms of the concessions, the liquor sales and stuff? Like you're not just kind of bare bones in it through these games, or are they at full tilt?
I mean, I think it kind of depends on the venue.
Okay.
Like everywhere's still got food and stuff. Like you go to I remember I went to the Giants ballpark one time in AZ, and they still had like the garlic fries and all that. So they do a pretty good job. Smaller scale, obviously.
Of course. And you're not going to get maybe the full like 1.5 foot long nachos that you're seeing on some of these ballpark menus and stuff. But hey, for Kevin, you just need a few dogs, then you leave the cold ones that you don't want for your partner in crime when you head home. Kevin's leaving at the 5th inning, and he says, "Hey, dude, we got a couple dogs left here."
Yeah, well, you had it.
I ate it. I mean, come on,
still had them.
I'm no. I don't think myself as an elitist.
Yeah.
I'll eat just about anything.
When we were covering the Oilers in the playoffs in Anaheim, Duke, I think it was 2017, actually. Yeah, that's 2017.
Yep, that was 2017.
And we went to a game at the Big A because that's when they were just starting. And you mentioned the nachos. I ordered a nachos it was even a bigger helmet.
A full size Major League helmet.
It was $27 US.
Oh,
it was
getting
good,
up there.
Yeah.
What about that burger at the Super Bowl? It was like 180.
Oh my God.
Real.
I'll say this. I think some of this like concession food across whatever sport you want to pick in these games, I think it's out of hand.
Yeah, it's getting out of control.
Because A, the prices are crazy, and B, how can you even eat stuff like something like that realistically?
The burger, that looked ridiculous.
Like
how do you pick that up and bite it?
You're trying to go back to your seat and watch the game, and meanwhile, you've got this 2 foot long tray of nachos in your lap. Like
it's for the gram.
100%.
Sidney Crosby has not returned. That means that they've. So McKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini are playing together. They're on the ice right now. We're halfway through the second period, still 2-1 Czechs.
Taking over in the shot
Nick
clock
Suzuki has slid in at center.
Seemed like a pretty natural.
Slid in at center on the Marner and Stone line. So,
what did you think? What do you guys thought of Suzuki so far? I haven't minded him. I thought he's been solid, but really limited.
I thought I was waiting for a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now, what more of an opportunity do you want right now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so, he's got it now.
Finally, to wrap it up, it is Take Your Family to School Week, which reads as raising a genius is not easy, but being actively interested in your child's education goes a long way. Schlemmer, you've got kids still across a few different grades here. And I know you probably wouldn't be too interested in going to school in fear of contracting yet another illness that comes from, as a beat reporter from out east said to Connor Howling in a text message, a little devil rats. They carry them around with them like crazy. But my question for you or point is, if you were to be dropped back into a high school classroom tomorrow, the subject you would most struggle with, and this is when I say you, I'm talking across the board.
Yeah,
you most struggle with is math.
Hard to argue with. I'll be in. Yeah, math or science. I think like chemistry, biology, anything like that. I mean, even when I was in high school, I think like English and social, you can kind of get away with like winging it. a little bit. Math and science, not so much. I'd be in trouble.
MTR already texted in before because when I said about Sidney Crosby's leg, and he said Karius is a doctor with no grade 10. He's already getting ahead
Kevin,
of it.
if I were to drop you into a high school classroom, would you be in unfamiliar territory at that point?
No.
Having never been there previously?
So, Duke, remember how when I was talking about the physics, right? Because that's the credit that I needed.
Okay.
And I figured out, so I was decent at math. I figured out I needed 98% on the final exam to get 51 for the year.
Like in physics 30?
Yeah, physics 30.
So what'd you have going into the test? Like 3%?
Well, no. So I went, like I said, something. I don't know what it was. But
math genius. I don't know what it was.
Well, no, but I mean, so I didn't go take the test because there was no way I was going to get 98, Schlemmer.
Yeah.
So then when I got the report card, the teacher, his name was Ralph Wardle, gave me 49 without taking the test. And I saw him at the Kalali Sports Day a little while later, and I said, Ralph, what are you doing here? He said, if you would have just shown up, I would have given you 51. And there's the credit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kevin Karius, Honor Roll Society, right up. Yeah, Schlemmer, I think any of the science topics could certainly come in here. But in my memory, if we're talking about chemistry and physics in particular, a lot of formula-based stuff, right?
Scores Canada.
Nice.
Nathan McKinnon.
The Nate
power
dog
play.
Tie ball game.
On the power play.
2-2.
Formula-based things. So I think that's a little bit easier. Maybe it would come back to you in some sense. Whereas straight up, I took calculus in university. I took a few other like higher level math classes in high school and stuff too. You draw me back in there and ask me to take a derivative, do an integral, even some trigonometry.
Ooh.
No prayer. I would have zero recollection of how to do it.
You took university calculus and you're on the radio.
Can you believe that? Can you? I'll tell you what, even because my major was economics at the U of A, and so a lot of that is math. And so you get into some of the 3 and 4 level classes, they're essentially just statistics classes with economic application. And so you're doing, some pretty intense math and
Duke would have had all the capitals,
formula derivation. Yeah, all of the things I actually knew. That was just my free time studying. Yeah, world capitals. I memorized the periodic table, even though I wasn't taking any science classes anymore. Stuff like that. So
smart guy.
He is smart.
Pistol.
Yeah, boys, sharp as a whip.
Yeah, pistol.
Sharp as a whip.
Yeah, wicked smart, like the
wicked
guys in
smart.
Saudi say, right? Wicked smart.
The boy's wicked smart.
What
about you? I was going to ask Josh, but maybe we better not bug him.
He's checked out here.
He's fighting it a little bit today. He's got the voice is failing him. Josh is definitely math. Well, and Josh, as someone that went to Nate, as did I, knows firsthand that usually when you end up there in the radio program, math probably wasn't your strong suit a lot of the time.
So how'd you make your way over to the radio program from economics and calculus?
Well, I was farming for a couple of years, and I thought, man, it is cold as hell out here. What kind of job can I get where I work indoors?
Okay.
And, radio seemed like a pretty good landing spot for that.
Should mention Connor McDavid had an assist on the Nathan McKinnon goal that gives him 11 points.
Not a big deal.
That matches the most points ever in a single Olympics that featured best on best with NHLers. So
he must have had like a serious focus coming in. Like, I'm going to show everyone that it's not even close.
Well, the funny part of it is, and we talked about it even last week, there's some people out in Eastern Canada that are going, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we've been watching it for 10 years. Have you not noticed?
Well, that's what I was thinking the first game. Like, all these people from out east must be thinking, like, man, it's nice to have this guy on our team.
And McKinnon, for that matter. You know? So, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we will check in at 10:20 with Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. I think we might be right around the commercial break again. Or not the commercial break, the intermission break.
Perfect.
Pretty darn close. Maybe not quite, but we'll eat up some of that as well. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Riverside Honda. 59 years and counting as St. Albert and surrounding areas premier Honda and Can-Am dealer. It's your dream. Ride it at riversidehonda.com. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Over in Italy, currently Canada's men's hockey team taking on Czechia in quarterfinal action of the men's tournament. Tied at 2 in the second period. Nate McKinnon with a power play goal. Macklin Celebrini, the opener for Canada. Sidney Crosby left the game with an injury and has yet to return. Earlier on this morning, Antoine Cyr and Xavier McKeever finished sixth in the men's cross-country team sprint freestyle. On the women's side, Edmonton's own Allison Mackey and her partner Liliane Gagnon also finishing in sixth. In men's snowboard slopestyle final, Mark McMorris finishing in eighth, Cameron Spalding in 10th. And on the women's side of that same event, Lori Bluin coming in fifth, Juliette Pelchet in ninth. Women's aerials, Marion Thoreau advancing out of qualifying but failed to get into the medal run. And after guaranteeing a spot in the playoffs yesterday, Brad Jacobs, men's curling team, beating Italy 8-3 earlier this morning. Still to come, Rachel Holman's curling club will try to keep their playoff hopes alive when they take on Italy at 11. Short track speeds getting men's 500-meter quarterfinal starting at 12:15 with 3 Canucks in the field. And the women's 3,000-meter relay team will skate for a medal just before 1 o'clock. Elsewhere, men's hockey quarterfinals, Switzerland taking on Finland just after 10. United States playing Sweden at 1:10. And earlier this morning, Slovakia defeated Germany 6-2. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station.
CKJR.
Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Get down to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's VIP Spring Blowout Sale this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. New motorcycles are selling for as low as $12,900. And ask us about the 1-year extended warranty on new and used bikes. Bring your buddies, because when they buy a new Harley, you get a $500 referral credit. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com.
It's Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Your game, your station. Sports 1440.
And watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the program, the big program, 10:07 in Edmonton. Man, watching this Canada-Czech game, there have been chances. I mean, the Czechs just had a glorious chance. Nick Suzuki has basically a wide open net, and hammers one off the far post.
Oof.
That
hurt.
Those are the ones that are going to come back to haunt you because he's got a
That's
lot
a
of room.
wide open cage
And he's got
there,
some
yeah.
good room there too. Unbelievable. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you here on Sports 1440. David Schlemko is powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family for over 40 years. Part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program, CougarCollision.com. It's been an exciting game. Canada's out shooting the Czechs 26-15. After the 2-2 goal, we were noticing too, Schlemmer, that the Czechs had a little bit of a pushback, but they've been sitting back for a lot of this period.
As soon as they got up 2-1.
And, that's that's going to come back and haunt you.
Not a good recipe.
Yeah.
Canada's buzzing right now.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. And I'm just kind of looking at a few guys there's so many guys that are, that have been on the show, like Mark Masters this morning. Frank Saravalli's obviously, and he's there. Man, you think about all the other guys, Rashog is there. He's been on. So many guys that have been on the show that are there reporting on the game itself. And it's, they're all kind of reporting the same thing. It's the whole bit. Yeah. But Connor McDavid with his 11th point in his 4 games, 2 goals, 9 assists, that ties Teemu Selanne, Saku Koivu back in 2006 for the most points in a single Olympics involving NHL players. So
he's probably not done.
No, but again, Canada's got to keep the foot on the pedal here, and they've been the better team here for the most part of this contest. Territorially.
PP coming up here.
Yeah, and they've got a delayed penalty right now. So this is a glorious opportunity to retake the lead. And we were talking about it too, Schlemmer, the fact that going back to the Olympics, like for years, 800 plus minutes that they haven't trailed.
Crazy.
Until it was 2-1 here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they had a pretty good shutout streak going before that France game too.
Radko Gudas is banging on the glass, Duke. If it was the NHL, he'd be taking a penalty. So
looks like a penalty to me.
I don't know.
You like it?
No. There was a bad penalty by, was it Camp earlier? That was the Nathan McKinnon power play goal. I mean, it's suicidal to take penalties against these guys. And now with Sidney Crosby out, Macklin Celebrini's taken over his spot on the number 1 power play unit. So
Ray gets one right here.
So on the power play unit, you got McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini. I wonder though, because Sidney Crosby would always be on the sideboards there too. I wonder if Connor goes over there now.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, Crosby and
because you got
McDavid, they kind of both work off that half wall and interchange a little bit.
Well, it looks like so. Yeah, that's sort of what they have right now because Reinhardt's out. Obviously, he's the bumper guy. Why do you say he's the best bumper guy in the world?
He's just really good at it. He's good at finding that open ice to always get the shot. He always knows where that back door guy is. If that middle forward is covering him, he's really good at just like 2-touching it, kick it back door for a wide open net.
And is how much does it help being a right-hand shot just with the setup
that setup? Yeah. If you want to run it off 2 lefties, it's perfect for that low pop play to the slot or even the one-timer from the half wall off the flank there.
So far, the Czechs doing a pretty darn good job of killing this penalty off. The penalty, if they don't score here with 20 seconds left in the second period, will overrun into the third period with just under a minute left.
Oh, baby. Oof. Nice rush by McKinnon.
Yeah. And it looks like the Czechs are going to kill this one off. Just 9 seconds left. And, they're just going to, they got 5 seconds left. They're going to do
an exciting third.
So 2-2. So if you're the Czechs, you're going, how do we sign up? Where do we sign up for this?
Yeah, I think they would have taken 2-2 going into the third.
How do you think, again, they sat back here. So, at what point does the coaching staff go, hey, let's press a little bit more?
Well, it looks like they have been the last 5 minutes of the period here. I think what you got to be careful with is not to get impatient and get caught with 3-4 guys down low and give easy offense going the other way, right? Just kind of push, but, stay patient. Have that third man high. It's going to come.
You can't take another, like, you got to stay to the box here, too. Right?
Absolutely.
And that's the same goes for Canada.
Easy offense, right? Turnovers, penalties, anything like that. Don't feed easy offense.
Same goes for Canada, too. Also coming up today, we got Finland and Sweden. They're just starting, right? Basically, puck dropped about 2 minutes ago, and then the USA and Sweden, which is the headlining game because of no one expected Sweden to finish as low as they did and to play the Americans here.
Right.
The Swiss, though, you've been impressed with them. You think that they got the makeup of a possible upset here against Finland?
I do, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I think they're going to win, but I think they've got a good chance. I really like the way they played against Canada. They didn't sit back. They didn't look scared. They skated. They were aggressive on the forecheck. Their transition was really good. They lost in overtime to the Czechs. I mean, they're right there. I think it'll be a good game.
Here's Greater Man Jay, and I kind of looked at this too as well. Morning, boys. I'm a little disappointed in the replays. How come they're not replaying the games? I get it because the Olympics are live. I have all the Sportsnet, Fox Sports, and I still got to take 2 weeks off work to watch the stuff, which I can't. So replays of the I thought
of the entire game.
Yeah, I thought, to be honest with you, I thought what he was getting at here are just replays of goals and hits and plays.
Okay.
I think, but and again, for the Olympics, there's the plays quicker. They're dropping the puck quicker. They're getting to the next play.
I think he's thinking quicker. Like he wants to the replay of the whole game, because they're so early. If you download the CBC Gem, app, you can watch any full event and you can mirror it to your TV.
Yeah. CBC Gem, 22 hours of sports every day. I don't know who puts it on in here, Duke. Is that
I think Connor, when they're in the Gregor show in the afternoon, they'll put some replays on or whatever via Gem.
Because I can't figure out.
Kevin comes in the morning and the one TV's still on the cable and he's happy there, and then he says, "I can't get this TV back to where it belongs."
It's hard, man.
Two clicks later.
A lot of problems with this TV. A lot of problems. I think we'll take a quick break
I did send Troy a quick text, said if he was good to hop on a couple minutes early, then we could try and take advantage of the intermission here.
Let's do it.
We'll look forward to. Yeah, he says he's coming over right now, so we're good to go here coming out of the break.
Troy Perlowitz, NHL.com. When we return, Kevin Karius, David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, family incorporates everyone.
I mean, the staff at Cougar are the cogs in the wheel. If you've got one or two wheels that aren't rolling with the other one, then you're not going to have a smooth operation. Everybody that we have at the shop really enables us to continue to help Edmontonians. We just try and help people get their cars back on the road, and it's the people that work for you that are going to allow you to be successful.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:19 in Edmonton, Canada, and the Czechs tied at 2 in the second period intermission. Hey, time to welcome in Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. Good morning, Troy. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer, David Schlemko. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning in the intermission here. Perfect timing, Troy.
I'm always perfect timing. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Hey, what do you think of the first two periods so far, Troy?
I thought the second half of the second period was all Canada. I thought that, good for Team Canada. They're facing adversity. I think they're trailing in this tournament for the very first time. It looked like they got punched in the mouth there in the first period. I thought Czechia really took it to them. Maybe a little bit of a surprise there. But I thought the second half of the second period, maybe after the Crosby injury, maybe lit a fire under Team Canada, under the roster a little bit. And they seemed to get the ball rolling into the direction they wanted to go and get that big power play goal at the end there. And now they get to start the third on the power play. So I like where Canada's at. They seem to take over the game there at the second half of the second period.
Mm-hmm. They seem to have found their game. Czechs sitting back a little bit, but definitely they're taking over a little. Now let's say that Canada goes on, gets the job done, wins a gold medal. Are they looking back at this game and saying, like, that was huge for us to go through a little bit of adversity and get down in a game and, be able to find our way to respond to that?
Well, Dave, you know this more than anybody. Teams really find their mettle and they find their resolve when they hit adversity for the first time. There's, it's sports, right? It's a roller coaster. No matter what sport you play, team sports is always kind of an up and down situation. Yeah, I think you look back at this is the very first time that we've, real leaders show up, whether it's McKinnon or McDavid, getting in the players' ears and saying, hey, okay, let's go, let's lock in. Everybody stay focused on the task at hand. And yeah, might be something that they look back at and look at, hey, during that Czechia game, we really need to come together as a team and get the ball rolling in the right direction.
NHL.com's Troy Perlowitz with us on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko. So Macklin Celebrini picked up his fifth goal today. He's been absolutely lights out. You've been talking about him. You've been writing about him. We've been talking about him. Everyone in the country's talking about a guy that he doesn't look like he's 19 years old, does he, Troy?
It's pretty amazing. So he's the youngest player in the NHL in this tournament at just 19 years old. When you look at Macklin Celebrini, it's not a huge surprise that he's doing this because the point production's there, right? He's fourth in the league in points. It's the plays that he makes in the NHL off the puck that are so impressive to me that he's carrying into the Olympics. I'm talking about carrying the puck into the slot, winning puck battles, intercepting passes, the takeaways, the things that David, as a teammate of a young player, everyone wants to play with a guy who does that. He's willing to go into the corners and throw a body check, and he does all those small, subtle things. The shot and the quick release, I can talk to you guys about that forever, but it's pretty equal to see, right? He scores all his goals from right in front of the net because of that shot, and the way he gets it off, whether it's a one-timer or a catch and shoot, is just incredible. It's the skating. He's playing on a line with Connor McDavid. You have to have some jump when you're playing on a line with Connor McDavid, and especially if he's out there with McKinnon as well, he's going to have to skate even faster than he's always skated. And he's a pretty fast skater in his own right. It's the plays away from the puck, because when he plays for San Jose, he's the one who's usually carrying the puck for his team. And when he plays with Team Canada, he has to do all those little things away from the puck that can still make him successful. And he's doing it.
Yeah, he's been the complete package. I have to say he surprised me a little bit. Just as a 19-year-old kid, like, obviously no moment is too big for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the skill. It's like you mentioned, Troy. Like, he's been their best forechecker. He's probably turned over more pucks than anybody else. He's doing it all. It's a lot of fun to watch.
What a great luxury for John Cooper. Look, John Cooper is the best coach for my money in the NHL right now, but what a luxury for him to look down the bench. It's not really a stroke of genius for it to be like, hey, I have the first, second, and fourth in points in the NHL right now. Why don't all three of you jump over the boards and let's see what you could do?
Why do you think, Troy, that he's had almost the instant chemistry and meshing with Connor McDavid so quickly here?
Well, it's funny. You guys know this more than anything else. Connor McDavid's always really excelled with a player like a Zach Hyman who can get to the net front area and go into those greasy areas between the dots and not only translate the forecheck and take the puck away from the wall and into the center of the ice. And that's kind of Macklin Celebrini, again, is not really asked to do that with San Jose, but he has been able to do that with Team Canada. Mm-hmm. And we see him, David mentioned it, that forecheck is really impressive. He's usually the first on the puck, the zone entry is usually McDavid, and McKinnon's the one, McKinnon. Macklin Celebrini is the one driving the net and getting to rebounds, getting to loose areas, and being an outlet pass for McDavid to do that. You have to sacrifice a little bit of yourself when you play on these high-end, high-talent teams and all-star teams. And if you're willing to sacrifice your ego and to actually do the dirty works and to do things that result in winning, I think you could have immediate success, and we're seeing it.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of I don't know, I guess you could call it the extracurricular stuff with the Kachucks and the USA game. And I guess how much of that do you expect if they ended up facing the Canadians at some point?
I am a sucker for emotion. I love emotion when emotion's in hockey. We see with the best on best tournament really brings out emotion on the ice, off the ice, everything. And I'm okay with it as long as we stay, as long as we remain respectful. I think we're okay. I kind of love the rivalry. As an American kid who grew up as USA hockey player, coach, referee, I'm very proud to be an American hockey player. But we all know and respect where hockey was born, and we all respect the Canadian. It's what they built, right? It's their sport. It's their sport, and we're playing it. I love it. I think the Kachucks deep down know that too. That they respect the game. They have obviously great lineage in the game itself, so I think they respect that. But I also think they're tired of hearing about how great Team Canada is. I think they're willing to try to to make American hockey a number one sport in its own right. And to do that, you have to go through the best. And I think it's going to be a great battle. If we get that at the gold medal game, I can't tell you who's not going to be interested in that. It's going to be a great battle.
Well, let's just maybe take it back a step here because they got to play Sweden here too.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations of this game that's going to close out quarterfinal Wednesday?
Yeah, so going into the tournament, there were only 3 teams made exclusively of NHL players, and it's Canada, the US, and Sweden. I totally agree with you. I think this is going to be a really, really close game. I still slightly favor the Americans. probably because of that defense, the depth that they have on defense. Whether it's Rowensky or Quinn Hughes or Jake Sanderson's been a player that's really stuck out to me on the back end for the Americans. He's played a really great tournament. I still favor the Americans slightly, but the Swedes they're hungry. They look angry after what happened against the Finns in the first round. The last 2 games they've come out with full steam ahead. I really think this is going to be a classic dogfight third period kind of game. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't think that it's definitely not going to be a walkover. This is definitely, if America takes this lightly, it'll be the Swedes who move on.
Do you see it as like a low scoring kind of grindy game, or?
I do, because I love both goaltenders. I think Connor Hellebuck's a really good goaltender, and I think he's playing really well. Whether they go Gustafsson or Markstrom, I don't know if they've named a starter yet, but I just Team Sweden again. If it's a low scoring affair, I think that favors Team Sweden. I think America wants to speed them up and play up and down and try to catch Sweden off transition. But if Sweden keeps this low scoring, I think that works into their favor. I do think it's going to be a low scoring affair. America's just got hopes that they have one more goal than the Swedes do at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Troy Perlowitz, NHL.com with us, Kevin Karius, David Schlemko. I just want to circle back to the third period that's about to start shortly here for Canada and the Czechs. Schlemmer asked me, what do you think of Nick Suzuki so far in the tournament? I'm like, I'm wanting more. I want to see more, Troy. And then he gets an open net and he rings one off the post here, because with Sidney Crosby out, he's been inserted into that line in the sense with Mark Stone and Mitch Marner. So what do you think about a third period here for a guy like Suzuki, who has the opportunity here? He's been given this opportunity to be one of the headliners for Canada in this third period.
I think he's going to be kicking himself after missing that empty net. Yeah, I think, again, I'm going to hope that in the locker room you get a chance to reset with your teammates. I'm sure he's getting fist bumped and pumped in the head on his helmet. Hey, move on, bury the next one. He's a player. He's been doing it all year for Montreal. He puts himself into really good positions in front of the net to take one-timers and to bury some pucks. I'm not going to let one play influence the whole feeling on Nick Suzuki. I think he's still an elite player. Again, surrounded with great talent. I think that's a player who can emerge here for his country and get a big goal. He's a player I would have a lot on the ice. He always has his coach's back, so I don't think Cooper's going to go away from him. I think Suzuki sees a lot of ice time here in the third period, and like you said, there's an opening there, whether it's the second of those or the third line for Nick Suzuki to emerge.
Yeah.
No updates on Sydney.
Still, Sid, yeah. I mean, he was hobbling around underneath the stands there, and I don't see him returning here for this game. And they're starting again with McKinnon and Celebrini. This is a power play with 50 seconds or so. So McDavid on the back end with Cale Makar, and then you got the best bumper player in the world. And so that's what
right up there.
Schlemmer says. So, hey Troy, I know you want to get back to watching this game, and as do we as well. So thanks for coming on a couple of minutes earlier. Appreciate it, and we'll talk soon. Take care, man.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Enjoy the rest of the third period.
You betcha. Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com, our guest to close things out here. We still got a little ways to go here, Schlemmer, but third period just underway, and Canada started on the power play, but nothing doing so far. So maybe we'll take a quick break and then enjoy the third period here, Schlemmer. Schlemmer was already figuring out, Duke, where am I going to watch the tail end of the third period? Oh, look at that. Duke has just mentioned the Edmonton Oilers have confirmed that Paul Coffey is returning to the staff. That came down 1 minute ago.
Unreal. That's huge.
I'll just read the release. The Oilers announced that Paul Coffey will return to the team's coaching staff. He'll step back behind the bench after resuming his role as a special advisor to ownership and hockey operations in July, following a 2-year stint following the club's defensive core. From his original appointment, November 13th, through the end of the regular season last year, Oilers allowed 2.78 goals per game, which was the 5th best mark in the league over that span. Chris Knobloch said, I have been in regular contact with Paul since last summer. I believe we will benefit both as a team and as a staff from his return at the time. Paul says, I'm excited to return and work alongside Chris and the entire staff. 24 games left, ample time to build on the many positives and build momentum for another long playoff run. Which begs the question, why wasn't he here at the start of the year?
That's what I was just going to ask. What happened? Something must have happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole talk was that there was maybe Chris Knobloch and Paul Coffey weren't exactly on the same page.
Okay.
With what they wanted to do moving forward. Now, the other bigger part of the picture here, Schlemmer, is that when Chris Knobloch was hired, it was basically a package deal, right? Paul came in as well. I can tell you, we've discussed this on the show many times. There were very few out of hundreds of texts that thought Paul Coffey was a good idea for this team.
Really?
Yeah, it was, hey, Duke, it was probably 99%.
It was all the text of old boys club. Yeah. He has no coaching experience. I mean, you can't doubt his accomplishments as a player, obviously, no doubt. But it was not a very positive reception when he was added to the coaching staff at the time Chris Knobloch was hired.
That's wild.
So then the other thing too is this was the first opportunity for Chris Knobloch to put his stamp on the team, on his coaching staff, because obviously he came in after the 13 games or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Paul comes with him. They're a goal away from going to overtime in Game 7. Okay, let's bring it back. We'll see what we can do with it again. But this last offseason was his first opportunity to say, okay, this is my staff.
So he hired McFarland,
and
then Mark Stewart was already there.
Was already there.
Yeah,
but we've talked about the last 2 weeks here, Schlemmer. As much as the Oilers have missed Paul Coffey, they've also missed Glenn Gulletson as well.
Oh, big time.
So
yeah, that's fair. I mean, with the personnel they have on the PP, pretty lucky that with any coach they're going to be good. But Gully did do a great job.
Yeah. Well, just even on the bench, it's there's an experienced calming influence, and you get a read, and it could be, as just as simple as, hey, talking to a player on the bench.
Yeah.
For whatever conversation about whatever play just happened.
Even on an off day, there's certain coaches on the staff that just talk to guys more, and they're just that kind of shoulder to lean on if you need something.
Yeah. And all the hockey insiders at the game saying that Sidney Crosby will not return.
That's not good.
No. So, that's why you got all the depth, right?
Well, they definitely got the depth.
They're still missing a big thing.
Hate to see a guy like that go down.
Absolutely. There's a high sticking kind of review. I think it was Brandon Hagel that maybe, and I think it sort of just grazed him. So I don't think that they know exactly what the play was. So, hey, let's take a quick break and we'll come back to wrap things up and watch the rest of this third period here. It's tied 2-2 Canada and the Czech Republic. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So when you wake up to no heat,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
You started wearing it to guys' night.
Nice toque, you hoser.
Then you started wearing it to work.
Nice toque, you hipster.
But the truth is, you're not a hoser or a hipster. You're just trying to hide your hair loss. I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, and for over 2 decades, I've used the latest techniques to help thousands save their hair, including my own. Come see me today to explore your options. By the time it warms up enough to take off the toque, you could have a head of hair you won't want to hide. Go to drvanceelliott.com today.
Irrelevant Saskatchewan history. Kevin's got it. But first, catch the exclusive interviews and stories nobody else has. The Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:39 in Edmonton. They're 5 minutes into the third period in Italy, as Canada and the Czech Republic remain tied at 2. Overtime rules are a little different in the preliminary from the round robin to where they go into these games. So it's 3-on-3. And it's a maximum of 10 minutes.
10 minutes then to the shootout.
Then to the shootout. In the gold medal game, teams would go, it's 3-on-3 until someone scores. So
that's good.
No shootout in the gold medal game. So
I like that.
Yeah. A few little tweaks here and there. But the big news here in Edmonton, Paul Coffey returning to the Oilers coaching staff. So I don't know, did you get, like, he was around obviously a long time, but even in town here, and did you get to know him at all?
No, I've met him a couple times, but I wouldn't really say like I know him or anything.
Yeah.
I just think it's got to be huge for those D. I mean, it's a couple of guys that had a couple of really good years with him back there.
Well, yeah. A lot of people, so they're talking about on our text line about Chris Knobloch being undermined. Well, I think you look at it like this. The team isn't playing as well as it can, and you have to do everything that's possible to get it back on track where you were last year.
Yeah. And you can't pretend like that doesn't happen on other staffs just because like it's not Paul Coffey too, right? Like there's candor going on in those coaching staff rooms. I've heard coaches screaming at each other in an intermission.
Yeah. So I think what happens is, and I brought this up to Frank, I think it was last Tuesday, because Frank was saying that this was more possible to happen. Elliot Friedman said not likely to happen. And that's where there was a difference between two hockey insiders.
Frank got it right.
Frank did. But the thing that I did say, I think in my mind, I think this is on Knobloch to sort of reach out and say, this, he's got to be a little more aggressive than Paul saying, I got to come back. Right? This is Knobloch's staff.
Right.
He's got to go and say, you know what, Paul, I was wrong. We miss you. We miss you. We need you. Can you come back? And I think that's how it would have shaken down.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a couple guys here in the next hour and a half down at the rink. So I'll get a little more insider information for tomorrow.
Get the scoop.
I don't know about the scoop, but Tiger says, does it mean that he's on the bench or just an advisor? No, he's on the bench. He's back on the bench.
He was
an
the advisor.
Yeah, he was still and to be honest with you, he was always an advisor while he was coaching here.
Right.
He still had that relationship with ownership and Daryl Cates.
Yeah.
But people, and here's the other thing, Duke, and you would agree with this. A lot of the techs felt that he was almost going to be like a
spy
like
for Daryl Cates. Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Several, a good contingency of techs had a similar sentiment of that variety.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but
yeah, I don't know. I just can't see like a former player ever doing that.
Again,
anyone.
If you think about it, like, Paul Coffey left here under different terms too. He wanted a big contract. Slat said, no, we're not going to pay you. So they had that forced a trade with Pittsburgh. But his heart's always been with this Oilers franchise.
All those old boys are. They all love it. They loved that team. They loved the city because of the time they had here.
Mm-hmm. And there's a core group with, there's 6, 8, 9 guys that the core group is like, those guys are like, they're peas in a pod, man. Like they are as tight as it can get.
Oh yeah. Like I saw Bucky all the time last year, just kind of coaching together in Devon, and he's always still hanging out with those Oiler guys, man, golfing like multiple times a week. They're all still best friends.
Yeah. We've been keeping an eye on the Canada-Czech game. I think it's safe to say that things have maybe slowed down a little bit in the third period. So much on the line.
Up a little bit, yeah.
You got so much on the line. I would imagine, Schlemmer, if you're out there, you're going, and it's hard to play that way, but you're going, I don't want to be the guy that makes that mistake, right?
I mean, I think a lot of normal people, that's exactly what would be going through their mind. If I was out there right now, that's what would be going through my mind. But I think, well, especially on Team Canada, like these guys all have so many multiple different experiences to kind of lean back on and say, I did it then, I can do it now.
Like the champions want the puck on their stick. Everyone knows
100%. That's the best thing that I love about Celebrini out there. He's playing with McDavid and McKinnon, and he's like beaver tailing for the puck in the slot.
Well, it's almost like, and I use this example with Roslovic here, when he plays with Connor or Leon. He was more with Leon. He's like, most guys are just, okay, I get the puck to Leon as fast as I can,
right,
and then search for some open ice or do whatever, continue the play on. Roslovic will hang on a little bit and say, well, maybe the best play isn't to defer to Leon.
Right.
Maybe I can make a play here and Leon can be just as open or have a better scoring look or opportunity.
And maybe Podsy saw that too and kind of brought a little of that into his game as well.
And he's still looking pretty quick.
Oh yeah, no. He's not quite as good at it as Roslovic.
Yeah. A lot of texts, 833-401-1440. I think people are keeping an eye on the game. And then obviously with Paul Coffey returning to the Edmonton Oilers coaching staff, Oilers will be on the ice here at 11 o'clock. How's that? Like it'll be Coffey's first practice. And as you said, Schlemmer,
like these guys look awful.
but these guys are going to be getting a good skate today.
They are, yeah. They're going to sweat it out today.
They'll just blame Coff. Coff's back. Come on now.
So I guess the one guy we haven't talked about in this whole situation is Mark Stewart. Is going to end up probably getting a little bit of technically a demotion. He's not going to be calling who's going out every shift on D. Maybe it gives them a little more time and focus to polish up the penalty kill.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, they work together. They worked together for a couple of years now. So
should be comfortable enough.
Yeah, that's the other thing. there will be that comfortability with Coffee returning here that, if it was someone else, now you're going, okay, well.
Yeah. It's not really a normal situation.
Well, it isn't. But there's been changes down the stretch. I mean, like head coaching changes. And
true.
remember in Jersey,
True.
Larry Robinson came in there with like 8 games left in the regular season. I was like, what are you doing, Lou?
Oh, Lou.
Yeah,
can't tell him
Lou.
what to do.
Crazy Lou. So they're just approaching the halfway mark of the third period. And again, I haven't seen too many scoring opportunities here in the last 5 minutes or so, Schlemmer.
I think the Czechs have about 5 shots since like the end of the first period.
It's 32-17. I can tell you that after 40 minutes, Macklin Celebrini played the most out of any forward on the team.
Well deserved.
Yeah, and the only guy that played more than him was Cale Makar. So the ice time right now, Macklin Celebrini's at 17:54, and they're just after the halfway point of the third period here.
That's a lot of ice up front for 9 minutes a period.
McKinnon's at 7:16, Connor McDavid at 16:58, and then on the back end, that's where Makar's playing. Tani's at 22:42 right now.
Oh wow.
Pareko's at 9.5. Schlemmer, Theodore's at 8.5. Sanheim just over 8. Harley and Doughty would be the pair that you were mentioning that would be, after Makar, those two guys have played, I guess, the most because Harley's at 15, Doughty's at 13-10. And then Taves obviously being with Makar.
Yeah, he just gets just gets more.
So, but the power play, there's been a couple power plays. So
I think Harley's been unbelievable so far.
Mm-hmm. As far as the Czechs go, Roman Cervenka's played 15 minutes. David Kampf has played 16.5. Natchez is at 18-17. On the back end, Phil Hronik is at 24.
Whoa,
24 big ones. They got a couple guys on D that haven't. Well, one guy that hasn't played.
Kampf is their face-off guy. He'll be out there like every draw. The third.
Radek Simic has played almost 20 minutes too on the back end. So they're riding Hronik, and Gudis is at 15. So
bunch of guys who couldn't play in the NHL anymore. Got the job done.
I couldn't find Natchez is at Pasta's at 17-16.
It's a one-shot game, man.
This is getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Again, halfway through the third period. 2-2, Canada. Czech Republic.
This is their ideal game right now.
For the Czechs, again, I tell you what, 3-on-3, we're not that far off from when you got to really start thinking about this. So who does Canada start 3-on-3? McKinnon, McDavid, Makar?
Yeah, maybe Macklin.
Well, or else he goes out in number 2.
Yeah.
I think you're starting those 3, McKinnon.
Yeah, I think
McDavid,
so too.
Makar, if it gets to 3-on-3.
McKinnon and Makar. They got that chem.
Yeah, and then you just throw Connor in there.
Just throw him in there.
Oh, yeah. But again, a little different because it's double the time of an NHL 5-on-5. Pardon me, 3-on-3, 5-minute.
I don't want to see even get to overtime. I don't want to see Pasta and Natchez out there with room. They're one bounce away right now. Just got to get the next one.
Like it could be a stupid break that happens here.
Yeah. The later it gets at 2-2, that's more of a possibility.
Yeah, it's a dumb break. And Bennington, they haven't had any shots. I think he said they were at 17 a while back, and they just got one shot here, and I don't even know if that counted, but
they're hanging on.
Text 833-401 1440. Jay in Victoria says coffee back. I was going to be skating the what out of them today. The day to come back.
A lot of sweating at the rink today.
Oh yeah.
A lot of guys with some nice tans, I bet too. Just like you.
What are you laughing at, Duke? Hey?
Kev's going to be down there in the locker room, probably checking them all out, seeing who's the most. That'll be Kevin's report from being out of the rink today. Who's the most tanned? Who's looking the most ripped post Olympic break? Those are Kevin's favorite things to keep tabs on.
wonder who would be. Could you imagine if it's Frederick?
Probably some unbelievable vacations, though.
Zach Hyman went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
With his kids.
I'll tell you one thing. I said if I were Frederick, I would have only taken a couple of days off, and I would have tried to get a jump start on everybody here.
Yeah.
And like even Manjapani too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Czechs have just scored to make it 3-2.
Oh no.
And they are going bananas.
Oh no.
Czech bench.
Oh, that's not good.
7:42 left. Did you see the play, Duke? Who scored
odd
the
man
goal?
rush? I didn't see who scored the goal, but it was a 3-on-2 odd man rush pass back into the high slot and ripped it past Bennington on the blocker side, I believe it was.
Same line again.
Is that Netches? Oh, Thomas Harley couldn't get a shot through.
Turnover.
Ends up to be a 2-on-1. Netches back to.
I think that's 98, isn't it?
A lot.
Yeah, but Netches had the pass. Dude,
Yeah.
to 18.
Oh, I wasn't aware Natchez was wearing 90.
Yeah.
So I guess it
Natchez
makes
with
sense.
the pass to Andre Palat. So now, like you're the Czechs, like you got to go. We can't sit back here, man.
This is going to be a long 7:42 for the Czechs.
Oh man, what time do you guys want to start Fantasy Frenzy, Duke? Do you want to start like 5 minutes earlier?
I do have an extra, like a longer than normal commercial break here to round out the show. So I'm actually was planning on starting to play the intro here in about 1 more minute.
Wow. You imagine if this holds and then Sweden beats the USA?
That would be pretty wild.
It would be unbelievable.
Or no. That's why they play the games.
That's right. I mean, it's all you need is like, I don't know where this is. If this holds true, like I know if like upsets in Olympic history, I don't know. It's up there.
It'd be up there.
Duke, have you got anything off the top of your head as far as like, and we're not going back to Miracle on Ice or nothing like that.
No, but I think this would absolutely be up there. Like this came in and through the preliminary games and stuff. Like this was like
number one seed.
Maybe the best collection of Canadian talent ever.
Finland is losing 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 to the Swiss.
Wow. Big start for the Swiss.
Oh boy. Well, we're getting close to 10:55.
Could have a Czech Swiss in the semifinal. This is wild.
David Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family for over 40 years. Part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program, CougarCollision.com. Well, I guess Schlemmer will go over into the old kitchen area there here and was it Chewy Hall, Duke? Hey, and watch a little hockey.
Oh.
You'll be watching it in here though, right, Duke? You and
of course,
on, man.
Chew our fingernails for 6 minutes and 9 seconds here.
Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. I'm just watching this goal again here. It's just a late man trailing in Andre Palat.
I think Palat was the one who blocked the shot and got up and beat Harley up the ice, too.
12 o'clock, it's the lowdown with Alan Mitchell. There could be plentiful to talk about here. Good show, Schlemmer. It was kind of weird watching the game and talking. You know, you're sort of, you got a little awareness going other places here as well. So we'll see you next Wednesday.
You bet, buddy.
At 2 o'clock, it's the Jason Greger Show. Till 6 o'clock, we got Fox Sports all night long. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7. What do you think Laddie Schmid's doing right now, Duke? Getting ready for
watching the game.
Oh, boy. He hasn't texted yet. I'm going to see what happens here. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 7. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies and Nisku Product Sales Servicing. Calibrating and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Their one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for the great comments on the text line as well. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Breaking news from earlier this hour, the Edmonton Oilers announcing that Paul Coffey is rejoining the team's coaching staff. The Hall of Fame D-man stepping back behind the bench after serving there from November of 2023 to the end of last season. Currently at the Olympics, Canada's men's hockey team taking on Czechia in the quarterfinals, trailing 3-2 getting into the final handful of minutes of the third period. Sidney Crosby left the game with an injury in the second and will not return. In the other quarterfinals, Slovakia defeated Germany 6-2. Switzerland leading Finland 2-0 in the first, and the United States will take on Sweden just after 1 o'clock. Earlier this morning, Antoine Cyr and Xavier McKeever finished sixth in the men's cross-country team sprint freestyle. On the women's side, Edmonton's own Allison Mackey, her partner Liliane Gagnon finishing in sixth as well. In the men's snowboard slopestyle final, Mark McMorris finishing in eighth, Cameron Spalding in 10th, and on the women's side of the same event, Lori Bluin coming in fifth, Juliette Pelchat in ninth. Women's aerials, Marion Thoreau advancing out of the qualifying but failed to get into the medal run. And after guaranteeing a spot in the semifinal yesterday, Brad Jacobs, men's curling team, beat Italy 8-3. Still to come, Rachel Holman's curling team will try to keep their playoff hopes alive against Italy here at the top of the hour. In short track speed skating, men's 500-meter quarterfinal starting at 12:15. 3 Canucks in the field, and the women's 3,000-meter relay team will skate for a medal just before 1 o'clock. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.